What's up, everybody? Appreciate you being here. Happy Saturday morning to every single one of you guys. We're back for some NASCAR Xfinity Series action, and we're here to continue our coverage of NASCAR Xfinity Series here on our channel. And we try to bring you all of the action on the tracks on the weekends. And right now, we are NASCAR Xfinity Series practice and qualifying for the NASCAR Xfinity Series for today's race. We'll have that later on. The stream is already up, so make sure you go hit the like button on that as well. But appreciate everybody being here. Thanks so much. I hope you've had a great week. We're ready to have a great week with you, great weekend with you, and look forward to spending some time with you guys today. So we're going to have a good long day today. We got this NASCAR Xfinity Series practice and qualifying, and then we come up with NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying, and then we'll have the race today, the GOVX 200 over here. GOVX. I'm hoping I've been saying that all the last couple days, so I hope I've been saying it right. But practice already started. I know. All right, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get going. But appreciate everybody being here. Thanks so much, Greg, Lewis, Lou Man. What's up, Bronny, KFB, Karen. Hello, Ryan Reed. Hello. Cold Trickle, what's going on? He's always here first. Fans of the Green Bay Packers, what's up, Greg? Good to see everybody. David Clark, Young Sweeper, says he's here at the track doing security. Awesome, man. Mike Baker, hello, everybody. Hello to everybody that's been here. So, the leaderboard is not up yet, Bronny. I don't see a leaderboard yet, so I guess we'll work on that while y'all listen in.
Hey, good morning to Kim Kuhn. How are you, Kim?
I'm doing well. Beautiful weather here in Arizona, but Nick Sanchez making some of his first few laps out on the track. That was by design. The team told me they were going to wait a little bit because this is a track that tends to get a little dirty, a little dusty, and they wanted that track cleaned off before Nick put his first laps down here in practice. They're also trying something a little bit different. Crew Chief Patrick Donahue told me in
I got it, Bronny. Thank you.
They haven't hit on exactly what they need here at Phoenix. Plus, rookie Nick Sanchez likes a little bit different feel in the car than past drivers, so they are trying something this weekend. The hope just to make a clean 200 laps. They've had speed each of the first 3 weeks. They just haven't had all of the finishes that they've been looking for. Nick, though, not his first time here in the Xfinity Series. He's one of the few rookies that has experience at Phoenix Raceway.
And Kim, I can attest to that. We were terrible here the last 2 years. So they definitely had to search that big machine car for something different. Nick actually ran as Kim alluded to back in 2022, qualified third here back in November of 2022. So
what's up, everybody? Appreciate it. Dirty Nick Sanchez, yes, sir.
The car has to do multiple things at both ends of this racetrack, and at both ends, you're asking it to do something different. And you're asking it to be in a different place. And so there's a lot of what I talk about, platform control, that's important. And the driver can make a big difference in how you drive that car, how you brake in the corners. That can really affect it. And so the team, I think more so than other places, you really have to gel between the setup of the car and the way the driver drives it. And that's a really tricky thing about this place.
I like waiting to go out. I think that's a good call. We had an ARCA race here last night. It's a different tire.
Oh, I don't have it in there? Oh, well.
Don't go out and give them a false read of what you have on
What's up, Billy Day? Good morning. Good to see you. David, what's up as well? Hello. What's going on, everybody?
So quick, but yeah, I like that.
And you get 25 minutes, only one set of tires in this practice, so you can wear them out really quickly.
25 minutes.
And run a bunch of laps early in the session. Let's do a
Group
segment
one.
I'd like to call Parker on Parker, Kligerman on Retzlaff. Can I buy a vowel?
Yes, you may have. You can have a P. How about that?
Disappointing for this team last week, though.
Definitely. A major disappointment, missing the race at COTA. But I went and spoke to Tommy Joe Martins and Parker yesterday and just was kind of curious what happened there. Parker's a great qualifier. Most likely today you'll see great qualifying pace out of him. He's so fast at these short tracks. And what happened last week is, if you look back at practice, he got very few laps. They had a lot of mechanical issues within that Ford team. He barely got any
Appreciate
laps.
everybody being here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe.
Qualifying. So unfortunately, the way the points worked out, they missed the race. But Tommy Joe told me from that, they've actually made some personnel changes on this.
Redemption for Retzlaff. That's right. You missed COTA.
They feel like amongst the team and that sort of thing. So sometimes
he is out there now.
You got to have a hard
Retzlaff fourth fastest.
Improve, and that's definitely what they've done at Alpha Prime with Parker Retzlaff.
Jeremy Clements 10th right now. This weekend making his 501st career start.
I wondered where you're going with that. He had a big moment here just a few moments ago. We'll take a look at this. And I love it. He's got these white gloves on. You can watch inside how hard he's working. This is coming off
Al Geyer number one. Lloyd, right, if you're here, you predicted that.
Edge, I got it. No harm, no foul.
You need a
You'll
charter
pay
to
for
buy
that
a
the next
vowel.
go.
That's right.
That right rear tire will not be happy with you. This place,
This is Group
turns
1.
1 and 2 is flat. You will lean on the right rear a ton, but it's a more conventional corner. 3 and 4 is one of the most awkward corners in NASCAR.
Allgaier, Alfredo, fast pasta.
It requires you to set the min speed point very early in the corner and then be in the throttle so early that you get moments like Jeremy had there where
I did, Bronny. I thought it was popcorn.
And it just doesn't have it. The track falls away, and you end up with those big slides.
You better save it, though, because if you get in the wall, we're racing in like 4 hours. There's not a big turnaround time if you did have to go to a backup car. We're in the Valley of the Sun. Gorgeous morning here in Phoenix.
Appreciate you being here. Thanks so much for hanging out. And let's see if anybody's talking on the scanner here. But welcome in, everybody. My name is CeeLo. We do NASCAR coverage here on our channel every weekend here. We've been doing it a long time, and we hope to see you guys here for the rest of the year as well as we bring you our best content possible. We bring the NASCAR Xfinity new to 2025. We're trying to bring you some NASCAR Xfinity Series coverage, extra coverage with practice and qualifying. I can't promise we'll do now next weekend, depending on the tournament, the SEC tournament. Not sure how that's going to go, but we might skip, or during the March Madness tournament. It all depends on where the Tennessee game is. We might have to skip something here or there, but we'll get back to our normal coverage after the tournament's over. But looking forward to hanging out with you guys today. We got lots of coverage here for you guys. We got the NASCAR Xfinity Series practice and qualifying here. Right now, we're in Group 1 of practice, and let's go through the line here. Justin Allgaier, Anthony Alfredo, Fast Pasta, Carson Quaffle. Hey, he almost won last week. Parker Retzlaff, can he make the race this time? Brandon Jones, Nick Sanchez, Dirty Nick Sanchez, Harrison Burton, Brennan Poole, Kyle Sieg, Jeremy Kmetz, Matty D, and that Viking Chevrolet, Dawson Cram, Mason Massey, Josh Balicki, Thomas Anu. I'm just going to call him Anu. I'm going to have to get used to saying his name. Chris Wright, Brakes. Garrett Smithley in 17th, Joey Gase 18th, Greg Van Alst in 19th, and Jeb Burton in 20th, and Sheldon Creed in 21st. Sheldon Creed, baby, in that Pit Boss 00. I like that paint job. Speaking of paint jobs, make sure you check out our vlog that we put out on Friday. Every Friday, we bring you a paint scheme and race weekend preview to get you ready for the NASCAR races on the weekends, and we would love for you to hang out with us. That way you know when we're streaming, you know what the races are about, you see the paint schemes, you get a little information from last week. I do a quick recap on COTA. I do some NASCAR news to catch you up on the whole week. A lot of guys do vlogs all through the week and do stuff like that. I do it in one shot because I don't have much time. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Make sure you go check that out. Hit a comment on that as well and hit the like. So thank you guys for already doing that. We've had a great outcome on that video already. So thank you so much, guys. Now let's go back. Allgaier leading the pack here in practice with a best time of 27.685.
Of today.
I'll say this, if you're a fan of the Xfinity Series, the CW app is your friend. Not only do we have practice and qualifying every week, but if you want the battle cam, the in-car cameras, go to the CW app. CW.
There you go, guys. Just like he said.
You need, real easy to download, update it on your TV, on your phone, iPad, whatever it is. And we have got so much good coverage. I know that you love listening to Jamie and Parker and their
awesome. Matthew's going to be on Phoenix today.
Races, but if you want like a little side-by-side or something, download the app and you can get plenty more coverage there.
Hey, I didn't come here to get complimented. All right.
Jeb and Sheldon,
Actually,
Group
I was only
B.
gonna compliment Jamie, but
That's
I
true.
thought
Okay.
Who's on your back,
sense.
Creed? Get that monkey.
Halfway through Group 1 practice, Justin Allgaier.
Oh, also, Mike, yeah, we're going to be back there in Nashville this year, hopefully, and then also Atlanta this year.
The lap before, I literally was...
Like, dislike. Chris, do not write. That's right.
Tight through the center, neutral, middle out.
This is Allgaier
Dylan,
said he's tight through the
let's go
center.
back into that, my man.
Yeah, well, it's interesting listening to this radio, too. I talked to Justin this morning, and they obviously were really strong here in the fall, But if you remember, they had to go to a backup car, and the setup wasn't as strong, Justin felt like, in that backup car versus what they had in their primary car when they unloaded. And Justin wanted to come back here this weekend and try something even more out of the box.
Should have picked Allgaier this weekend.
And he said Jim Pullman,
what's up at Dallas racing CeeLo and bacon sandwiches?
We know here, which generally works pretty well. But Justin looked at this weekend as a way to not only try and learn some things for the fall, but also try and learn what not to do in the fall. So there's a fine balance between chasing your tail in this morning practice versus what you're going to have later in the race conditions. But these guys not resting on their laurels, always trying to get better despite being really good here.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say when we all think of Jim Pullman, we don't think wild. We think pretty straight down the middle. He referenced his car being tight in the middle.
Billy, he's just trying to help the algorithm.
If it's not, you drive in just a little bit harder.
He's just trying to help the chat move along. It's all good.
Push or understeer. You just want to have a little bit less.
We're all in this
else.
together as one team. We're all in this together as one team, trying to make great content here.
To go to that backup car, start in the back, drive up to top 10 in stage 1. It was really impressive, and I know I
ready to see Parker get that W.
He has been in position. I would think easily 5 races he could have won here that he didn't. Last spring is a great example, leading with 3 or 4 laps to go, blows that left rear tire. And that could be a story again today because of cutting across that dog leg on low air pressure. It puts a lot of load on that tire. And you see even that little bit he does right there inside the car, that seems harmless, but you always just wonder, like, how much load is it putting on the sidewall?
I look at Allgaier at the top, no surprise there. How about the guy in second right now? 42 of Anthony Alfredo, impressive in practice, Kim.
Yeah, absolutely. And we should stop, I think, being surprised when he makes fast laps out here. He has been able to do a lot with smaller teams with less resources. If you look at last year, he finished 15th in points last season with Our Motorsports, and he told me he made that look a lot easier than it was. Now this year with Young's Motorsports, he's back on track now after they made some slight adjustments. That first run, despite having speed, he said he was a little tight when turning and braking. He needed more turn in.
The CW app. No, it's on the CW app, Anthony.
Adjust that for him, but he did note that the track is starting to rubber up, so something to consider as these drivers are giving feedback to crew chiefs. How big of the changes do you want to make, knowing the track is going to continue to change, and then it's going to get even hotter under race conditions?
CW app.
Tim, that's a great point because you mentioned it's cooler right now. It will be hotter later. You don't want to get tricked by that. One thing I see most of these drivers doing is they're running
through this one right here,
right on the yellow line. When we get to the race, they'll be below the apron. Right here. They'll be all over this racetrack.
Click on it.
Try to do is you start to lose the tires.
Right here. Click on it.
One thing about Anthony Alfredo, I think, is I look at what he's done in these smaller teams, and Kim alluded to it. He's building a reputation similar to Ross Chastain at JD Motorsports.
It comes on. It's free.
At JD Motorsports, being this guy that you can depend on to go to these smaller teams and get outside finishes, points, that sort of thing. What he did last year at Our Motorsports was super impressive.
Everyone ignore my tips. I've lost lots, and it's only been back for a few weeks. What are you talking about, Greg?
Kim referenced the top 15 finish in points. Also on the dash for cash money at Dover, which was a huge upset, I thought. Here's the 99 of Matt DiBenedetto. Another team.
Let's go Bowman in the 17, and Greg Van is my ranked outsider. He's a winner with the name like Greg. There you go.
Not where they wanted to be last week.
Greg Van Alst.
But I would say
there you go, Greg.
Still in the middle of the fairway when you think about how they came in expectation-wise in 25.
Yeah, when we met with Matt earlier this year, I mean, he's optimistic, but you also are kind of reading the body language, and I think he was realistic with the expectations for this team. But you mentioned it, 11th at Daytona, 12th at Atlanta. I mean, a great start to the season. It's put them in the top 20 in points right now. They've got to be happy.
And on the screen here, the ones that have a green by their name is they're on the track.
Quapple heading back down the pit lane. Maybe an adjustment there. Let's listen in.
So on pit road, it'll be all green, then all red at the barrels. And when he hits this opening down here at 10, he'll ease back to 2 reds and all green.
It is such a Travis Quapple pit road here at Phoenix because of the curve, and you see how wide pit road is. Well, if you run the same speed at the very inside of pit road versus the very outside, it could be 2 miles per hour difference on the NASCAR track.
You haven't been doing so well. That's why I don't bet on sports.
Pit road speed, I mean, it's, you want to get in and out of your stall good, but there's so much to be gained or lost here. And the fact that he's never been here before.
Group 1's 25 minutes, Group 2 is 25 minutes, and then they have qualifying.
You have first race, though, with this team.
And whoever's fastest is fastest.
Don't push it too hard, Parker, in the race, because it's a big gain, but it's not worth the consequences of getting caught.
And one more variable to add to that is a lot of teams will choose to use third gear here so that you can set your lights more appropriately for the turn and for the straightaway, which is completely different than every other oval you go to.
I hate that.
So it makes a whole other part to it. Right.
Yeah.
So it's just even tougher. So there's so many things to remember as a rookie for Carson Kvapil. That's such a ton of variables to add into just trying to do a really tricky pit road.
It's on the CW app, Joe.
Winner at Phoenix, Brandon Jones. One here driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. Back under the coach's umbrella. All 5 of his career wins have come at JGR and likely will be a player.
All right, so Allgaier, Alfredo, Carson Kvapil are the fastest 3 here in practice Group 1. Hell, again, thanks for the coverage. You're welcome, Roseanne. You are welcome. What's up, Triton? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're having a good time today and staying nice and warm down there in Florida. So I hope you get to see you, buddy. Prayers always for my good friend Triton. He's always been going through some health issues, but we're always cheering him on. Parker Retzlaff, who did not qualify last week, he is in P4. Brandon Jones in that 20 Toyota. Dirty Nick Sanchez in 6th. Harrison Burton 7th. Brendan Poole 8th. Kyle Sieg 9th. And Jeremy Commence in 10th. So there is your top 10 for the practice right now. Fastest practice is Group 1. So I guess I'll just do, I guess I have to change it because I guess they don't do Group A and Group B anymore. But we'll just call it Group A. This is Group A. Practice. I'm talking about practice. Group A. Here we go. All right, so I hope you guys are ready for some fun today. We got NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying coming up right after this. We'll have that pin message during qualifying for the Xfinity Series, and then after that, we'll have the race for the Xfinity race today. So a long day at the track again with CeeLo on a Saturday. Hope you're ready to sit back and enjoy it. Have a good time. If you want to watch this qualifying and practice, you can watch it for free on the CW app. And I will hold one more class here. Class with CeeLo. I want you to go to your cell phone or your laptop, the CW or iPad or whatever, and go to the CW app. Or if you're on an iPad or a laptop or a computer, go to the CW Sports website. It's free there. All right. This is what the app looks like on your phone. Okay. Sorry about the back feed here, but you're going to click on, hold on. You're going to click on this little live button right here. This shows you live. Okay. This shows you live right here. You click on it, you watch a little commercial, and then it's free. So check it out. All right. Back at it.
Back-to-back top 10s. Struggled to get in the race last week at COTA, made it in the show, won a stage.
Subscribe,
Where
yo.
are they at in practice right now? 7th on the board, Dylan.
They've actually been making a couple fairly significant changes. Harrison has just been tight, which, as you guys talked about, is kind of the status quo here at Phoenix. It seems like he wants more roll speed, but they made a couple track bar adjustments, and then they've actually come in and made an adjustment.
There'll be a test later on it, exactly.
The angle that the front tires.
Fingers crossed the 17 can win today. Alex Bowman, baby.
More normal adjustments, but then some more fine-tuning things as well, just to get Harrison a little bit more comfortable.
Well, Dylan was making me nervous there when he was going to describe toe. I'm like, this might take a while right here. That was a good job, though, Dylan. A little surprised that Harrison's not quicker. This is this team gets their cars from the Haas factory team, and as I look back to the last couple of years here, Cole Custer, Riley Herbst won the last race we were here, and they were dominant cars, super fast. I'd just be curious to see if he can get this going better, though. I think this car is going to run better than where they are right now in practice.
I wholly agree, and I think it's a big
transition. There was a Disney stream yesterday, and there were Halloween decorations in the background. You know who.
And the difference between that and the Xfinity car felt like a different racetrack. So we go on board here. Garrett Smith.
Bowman and Butcher did this weekend. We'll see.
So down here in 3 and 4, you'll put your left sides right on that yellow line. There's a little bit of grip down in that paint. and you want to exit all the way out to the wall. But as we head down to 1 and 2, we'll see. Oh, he's now coming in. So if this was the race, though, you would actually run down here at some point. So we saw in November, there was a ton of grip down here, and you'll run all the way over there. So here we are in 1 and 2 on a replay, and he's a little bit above the yellow line. You'll use that yellow line for some grip, but in the race, you'll be all the way down like you're heading to pit lane. It feels like you're heading towards those barrels, and then you shoot back on the racetrack. It's almost disorienting. It's sketchy the way you head towards it. We were talking to Sam Mayer yesterday, and he and I were commenting that last year you'd run so low, it was like you pointed the car at those barrels and that inside wall, and then it just sort of slid out the last moment, and you'd enter back on the racetrack. It's just so wild, all the lines you can run here.
Thank you, Mike Fager, for becoming a pro member. Mike, yes, sir.
1 and 2 used to be 3 and 4, and then you had that run down the front straightaway. They reconfigured.
It doesn't play on my phone, really? It should if it's on an app.
Unique layout.
It doesn't happen right away. Thank you, Sonny, for subscribing. You got to watch that commercial first, and then it'll play.
Here's Brennan Poole on 44. The only driver from Alpha Prime to make the show last week at COTA.
Minute left here, 2 laps probably, 2 laps left.
Parker Retzloff
54 seconds left in this Group A practice.
Last week.
You hear his spotter coming on, telling him how much time they have left in practice, thinks he can get 2 more laps out of it. You make these changes, and you want to go out there and just get as good of a feel for it as you can prior to having to go in and make these adjustments.
Go Josh Berry.
You know, I think a top 20 for this team last weekend. I think that's a great result for Brennan and the team. It's been a little bit of a rough start, but you see, is he going to try to do a...
See, there was NASCAR hiding the Xfinity Race Center. I can't find it where it could normally be on the homepage.
It's I always liked at the end of these practices.
Go to refresh your channel, refresh the page, and it should pop up. Such an amazing channel full of prancing. Thank you, sir. 15 months. You're the best. Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy.
Nick Sanchez is 6th and chasing those Chevys from Junior Motorsports.
Hey, listening to Junior Motorsports, they're working on backing up their corners and getting it pointed and then driving off. RCR just sent me a message and said it looks like we're over driving and driving the push into it. Happy, I'll fix that.
What's going on, Greg?
I would have keyed my radio so I didn't hear that. because I'm like, okay, like it's so hard. Like when you're out there driving and they tell you just need to lift earlier. You're like, thanks. I can't lift any earlier. If I could, I'm just gonna go slower. It's a difficult racetrack, but yeah, the spotter pointing out the obvious there.
There's so much more technical aspects to
We're going April 27th. Nice.
And what the amount
thank you,
you're
Darlene, for subscribing. Darlene, thank you.
It's too general.
Yeah, for sure, Greg.
Group 1 practice.
Yeah, 2:30. We'll be on at 2 o'clock.
6 for Chevrolets. No surprise, Allgaier leads the way.
All right, Allgaier. We'll go through the full rundown here in Group 1 practice. We've got Group 2 coming up next. Justin Allgaier, Anthony Alfredo, Fast Pasta, Carson Guaffle, Parker Retzlaff, Brendan Jones, Nick Sanchez, Harrison Burton, Brennan Poole, Kyle Sieg, Jeremy Commence, Matty D, Dawson Cram, Mason Massey, Josh Palicki, Thomas Anu, Chris Wright, Garrett Smithley, Joey Gase, Greg Van Alst, Jim Burton, and Sheldon Creed, who didn't decide to practice today. I don't know, maybe they got something going on in their car, but thank you guys. Racing Mason, thank you so much. Racing Mason, like that one too. Appreciate you being here. So we got Group 2 coming up here in just a second. But I hope you guys are enjoying today's stream and having a good time with us. We are going to be bringing you qualifying here pretty soon for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And then after that stream, we'll be doing NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying. And then we'll have the Xfinity race this afternoon. I got to run out now. We'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, Greg, we'll see you tomorrow, man. I'm watching you on my TV and phone. I've noticed that. I go to my analytics, and it shows a lot of people watch us on their TV, which is weird, but I appreciate you guys watching. But thank you so much, guys, for hanging out. We got the 3 streams up today already. We got the NASCAR Xfinity stream up, the NASCAR Cup Series stream up, and the race today up. So make sure you go hit the like on those. We have a little trailer there so you guys could hear me talk or whatever. Braden, what's up? Greg, 4 a.m. here in Sydney, Australia. So if I start talking gibberish, I'm falling asleep. Or I start talking gibberish, I'm falling asleep. I understand that, man. I've been a lot of early mornings lately with my new gig here at my work. So I've been getting up way early. So I know how that is. I know normally I didn't do that, but now I have to. So, but yeah, that's what I do. TV and phone. Nice, man. Thanks so much for watching us. And there's Rattlesnake Hill. As I talked about in our vlog, I've been on Rattlesnake Hill taking a picture next to that big cactus. If anybody's watching on the CW app, I've been there.
In the same location
Crazy
today
stuff.
as yesterday. This, my friends, this is Phoenix.
I thought we were at the wrong track yesterday. I won't lie.
And that's deceiving. You can see like heat coming off of there. It's not hot outside at all.
But it is going to warm up into the 70s, even better here tomorrow. All Geyer at the top. Chevy delivered quite nicely. And Anthony Alfredo second on the board. He's with Kim.
That's pasta.
Yeah, he had some speed in that practice.
You see those
I know you wanted
pastas
some changes
emojis.
to the car. After you got back out there, did you learn everything you needed to for the race later today?
Yeah, we learned a lot. We were able to make a lot of adjustments there, and being second on the leaderboard to last year's champ is a big accomplishment for our team. It's obviously only practice, but this is a pretty technical track, and it's really difficult to have everything you need to have success in the race. So fortunately, our Dude Wipe Chevrolet is almost as fast as Xfinity Mobile, and I'm pretty confident
about
that
going
we can maintain that
the Fall
speed
Cup
through
race.
qualifying
Nice,
and then the
man.
race. So we had enough time to go through all the adjustments we wanted to, even though we were pretty good off the truck. And from here on out, just going to be about playing our cards right in the race, having good execution all day long, and finishing up front.
Anthony Alfredo will be one to watch. Dylan, he finished this race last year in the top 10.
And Kim, so will be Justin Allgaier, who is fastest in practice.
Allgaier.
The site of his championship win a year ago. But
You see those sevens, Billy
we talked
Bowles.
this morning just kind of about some of the differences in practicing right now versus the conditions later in the race today. Are you happy with what you have and what you think you'll
What's
have
up,
for later?
Ragu?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to tell. You know, obviously the sun's out. I just told you I think it's going to be a hotter, slicker race than what I was expecting it to be. You know, we were on the Arca rubber. You know, I think that's the one negative to being in that first group is just, you know, track conditions are a little bit different than what we're going to see. I think fall off in that first group was a little more than I thought it would be, but I think you're going to see a little bit tighter fall off in the second round. But really proud of Jim Holman and this whole 7 team. They brought it really, really fast. Brent Brescia at Gold Chevrolet, obviously so far as fast as Xfinity Mobile, but we got a long way to go. Got a lot of work to do. I think qualifying is going to be the outlier for me. How much does the truck change from right now when we get off the racetrack to what it looks like in qualifying? So proud of everybody at Junior Motorsports. You know, both of our Chevrolets in that group were fast. Obviously, hopefully we can get the other 2 here to be fast as well and see what this afternoon brings.
Everybody chasing the 7 right now, Adam.
And he mentions qualifying. You want to be good in practice for sure.
Who am I going for the races today? I got, who do I have winning this thing? Sam Mary's my dark horse, and I got, Eric Almirola in that 19, baby.
That's why I was shocked that they went out right away, because it can affect the balance of your car.
Connor
You
Zillage.
talked about the lap time fall off and it being slicker. I feel like we all thought it being 40
It's on CW app.
Maybe wouldn't be as much lap time fall off, but he had
CW
almost a
app.
second and a half over 30 laps of fall off, which is huge at this track. But Parker, it does seem like as this track ages, you continue to have more and more fall off over a run.
Oh yeah, tremendous amount, and you really can change
Zillage
your
finished
fortunes at
4th
the
here
end
in
of
the
run by what
finale.
you do at the
Yeah,
beginning of a
he
run.
could win
This
it.
wasn't the case here 8-10 years ago, but this place has just continued this.
I don't think he
desert,
wins
the
back
sand
to back,
around here
though.
has just gotten more and more abrasive.
He could, though.
And that's why you're seeing all these different lines you'll see in the race and trying to run on the apron. You're just searching for grip because, especially as Justin alluded to, as it gets hotter, this place loses a tremendous amount of grip. 1 and 2 becomes so slick, it's so flat. And 3 and 4.
Jesse
feels
Love,
like
the
you're dealing
fastest
with a game
here.
of inches as to where you place your left front.
Jeb Burton now.
3 races this year, 3 different winners. The most recent.
Sam Mayer, my
Guys,
dark
Humphrey,
horse, baby.
88
Yeah, let's go.
You know, the numbers
Sam
suggest he
Mayer.
was
I
dominant
see you,
last week
man.
at Coda, leading 26 to 65
I see
leading
you.
the ball. He had a lot going on.
What's up,
this
T.
race.
And
Lee?
this right here could have changed his
Going for the
entire race
88
when he
and Josh
tried
Berry
to come
tomorrow.
to pit
Tomorrow
road. The
I
light
got
came
Ryan
out the last
Blaney.
second. You see
Ryan Blaney
he had his hands
and
full right there with
who's my
Corey
dark
Heim trying to
horse?
drive back up
Oh,
through the
Chase
field.
Briscoe.
That could have been the race ender for him. You see the damage on the
I'm the
right
20
front of that
guy,
car,
so
and
I'm
then
stuck with
just
Brandon
an
Jones.
epic
I know,
battle
Mike.
with his teammate Wobble coming to the end, and I think he's referencing that he's tired after that
He
race.
sleeps a lot.
Yeah.
I like that.
Welcome, what's up, everybody? Happy Saturday morning. Welcome in if you're coming in. Get ready for a nice long day with us. Appreciate you
Said he
being
called
here.
3 drivers.
Yeah.
Before he
Jason
ever went
Jackson,
to
what's
do
going
his
on from
press
Grand
conference
Rapids,
for the
Michigan
win.
with CeeLo? What's up, man? Good to see you, bro.
We can't harp on that enough, and you'll hear us talk about that.
Mayor's got a
all
lot to
year
show
long
this
because
year.
is
He
so
does.
mature.
New
He's just so
team.
cerebral about driving.
That's why I
and
picked
all the
him.
other stuff around it.
It's his turn.
And I just think when he had such a speed advantage, he didn't need to take those risks. He didn't have to be so aggressive. And I know going forward, he'll take that note, and the next time he's put in that position, if he is, he'll be more careful coming to the field.
Connor got to win last week. The other 2 victories this season.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe promo code. What's up, bro?
In the season opener in Atlanta, Austin Hill.
Yeah, Austin was one of the guys in that Championship 4 battle the last time we were here. They had, I don't remember what happened with their strategy, but they didn't have the tires at the end. He did have the best track position right at the end of that race, but not enough car to hang on to. He though, just, I feel like no matter what track we go to, is always a factor at the end of these races.
He's got 11 career victories. 8 have come in the draft. 2 of the 3
Taylor
that
Gray
didn't
now
are the places we'll see the next couple of weeks. He's won at Las Vegas. He's won at Homestead. And I'll tell you what, I saw the 2 in the garage yesterday, and I thought it was
what console?
PS5,
but I really don't like it. I'd rather play NASCAR Heat.
What has RCR done for their spotters here?
That's what I was thinking.
They're going to get me a steering wheel.
Guy. Are you kidding me? I'm going to be selfish here. Yeah.
Our poor director.
Roger Benson, our director. He's seeing double.
Oh, my goodness.
I like Denny, but
sort of different
I don't know. I just don't think he's good here.
On that thing would have helped a little bit, but I'm looking at the
54 is the fastest right now. Taylor Gray.
The first group had a lot faster track condition. Just seeing the fastest
owner in training
was able to set down. So
legend owner in training, Ty Gibbs.
Rubber and that track.
Yeah, right. They look the same.
Maybe this is more representative of what we'll actually experience.
There's the 2.
Drivers are getting some better track time.
This is kind
hearing
of a
aids
short track, right? I mean,
on
not
the 2.
officially, but Phoenix does.
It's debatable.
There's my winner right here.
Like a short
right
track.
here.
I say that because Jesse Love, Sheldon Creed had a bit of a moment last week on track at Coda.
Just slight contact, Adam. Just 2 friends racing. You see Jesse Love runs Sheldon a little bit wide right there, and Sheldon, fortunately, was able to catch right back up and well, repay the favor.
How does your 2-car work in
Alex
the gravel?
Bowman.
Let's find out. You know, Sheldon used to drive that car, so there's a little bit maybe behind this. This is what happened on social media after. I mean, I just love it.
Scoreboard, buddy.
This was kind of heat of the moment stuff because we talked to both of them in the garage yesterday. They met, they talked about it, and it would appear right now cooler heads have prevailed.
Well, go ahead. Tell what'd they say, Parker.
Well, they are in a group chat together, and Zilich asked them if they were cool now, and Sheldon said,
this group
we settled it like men on Twitter.
Wait a minute. Zilich is winning races, leading laps, and he's also a peacemaker among the other drivers of the series.
He's a mediator.
I think he's an instigator is what I think he is. My favorite part of the conversation with Jesse Love yesterday was we were talking to Connor Zilich in the garage about his win, and he was just kind of going over his week, and when Jesse walked up, he kicked Connor in the back of the legs. He's like, what are you talking about, your ego? And I'm like, it's so much fun to hear these 2 guys just go back and forth and obviously race hard.
Well, the other thing is last night the ARCA race was here, and they're buddies with Brent Cruz, who won. He's only 16, right? But he wins the ARCA race driving for Joe Gibbs Racing. And he comes walking through the garage, and they're like, man, if he doesn't win in the Gibbs car. I mean, they talk trash like you do on the playground, but it's in big-time, top-level, national stock car racing. It's awesome, the relationship all these young guys have.
It's great. And, you know, Sheldon
I've got it this week, Greg says.
Calm. His demeanor is so calm all the time. And Jesse alluded
Sheldon
to it.
Creed,
You know,
that
if you're gonna
double
have a run-in with
zero.
anyone, it's great that it's Sheldon because he's not going to take the next level. He'll be very level-headed about it. He's so calm. I had that experience with Sheldon the last 2 years a couple times, but we were able to talk it out and never let it go further than the week that it happened. And I think that's actually a testament just to Sheldon's maturity and his ability to sort of put things aside and say, hey, if the roles were reversed, you know, this is how I'd want it to be handled, and that's what he does. And so they're able to move on, and we'll see if that beef continues or not.
Yeah, this will be a car right here to watch. Alex Bowman, his only start in the Xfinity Series so far this year that we know he's going to run. This car, though, every time it's on the track, runs really well. And when I think of Alex Bowman, I always think back to 2016 when he filled in for Dale Earnhardt Jr., qualifies on the pole, leads the majority of the race.
Not a Creed fan, but that paint scheme,
like
I know, right?
To win. Obviously did not because of a late race restart. But this track, even though he had that success, it hasn't been great for him on the Cup Series side. I think he's here this weekend just trying to get track time. And I know you referenced the cars being completely different, but there might be something small that he learns about a line or just restart something that he can learn that he can maybe apply to Sunday.
Nothing. Vegas, it's on CW app. Nothing in that smoker this weekend.
For the campaign, William Byron driving the 17 at Coda. About the last couple of weeks for this rookie, William Sawalich, who's won here.
The CW app, not the CW, but the CW app.
Last fall, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing on the Xfinity side, and back-to-back top 10s for the driver out of Minnesota.
Really strong start to the year for him. And when I
You're
looked
welcome.
at this place, I kind of had it circled for him because of that pole that he had last year. I thought that was so impressive to jump into these cars here. Qualifying here is really tough. You get one lap. The car will wiggle around and move a ton through that lap, so to be able to put a really good lap down and get the pole was very impressive. And these Joe Gibbs Racing cars, there's two
Take 4 NASCAR drivers and come in first place and get 100 points. Nice. That sounds like fun. The mini fantasy league.
He's in some of the best equipment. It's just those two teams, these flat tracks that require low CG, great aero. These teams just really set the benchmark in this series, is where those cars are.
17 wins here all time for Joe Gibbs Racing. That's the best by a lot. We had the rookie from JGR. Here's the veteran, 19, Eric.
There you go, my pick today, baby.
Yeah, and he surprised us at Atlanta. I had him picked to win the race. It didn't look like any of the Gibbs cars were going to run well.
No CW in Canada.
Sure enough, right at the end, here he is going to lead the white flag lap. It looked like he was actually going to be the guy that could beat Austin Hill. Austin was able to get back around him. But, man, Eric is just the same thing, been so good at so many different tracks, and he will be a factor today.
The best in Group 2 is Taylor Gray, Eric's teammate, driving the 54 inside the top 5. Allgaier, the best overall. It's practice here in Phoenix.
All right, so Allgaier is on top still. Anthony Alfredo, all those cars in the top 5 were in Group A. Group B, you got Alex Bowman, Eric Almirola, Connor Zilich, Sam Mayer, Dean Thompson, Sheldon Creed, Jeff Burton. Some of these guys are not on the track already, but Josh Williams, Ryan Ellis, all still on the track. But they put them all together in this one practice here, so you can see them all together. So, but thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hit that like for us. We're at 100 likes finally. I haven't even been pushing those this morning. See if we can get to 200 likes if you help us out with that. Hit that subscribe too as well. Jared says, hey, CeeLo, I'm upset my Bruins traded Brad to the Panthers. And, hey, my Preds beat your Bruins there. Had CW in Canada last year, not sure, but I think it became the USA channel now. Okay, gotcha. But there you go, y'all. It's on the CW app if you were able to watch this full coverage on the CW app for the practice and qualifying. If you aren't able to watch, and you want to just hang out here in our chat to GG's on that game, I know. If you want to hang out in our chat while you watch, that's awesome. We'd love to have you because our chat is the best here on our channel. And we would love for you to hang out with us because it's always fun to hang out here and on the go with CeeLo. So we're looking forward to a good full day with you guys again. Roll Tide all day long and night. Roma J says, hey, my Vols, hey, we played today at 1 o'clock. We weren't able to do the last game of the season. They're playing South Carolina. It's senior day. Kind of feel bad not doing it since it is senior day, but we're going to get ready for the tournament. The SEC tournament coming up for the Tennessee Volunteers. March Madness coming up for NCAA too. Looking forward to that. And hopefully we can do some stuff here together and have some fun. So if you like basketball, make sure you tune in for our coverage of that. That's going to be fun. And that's it. That's all I got. We'll look forward here. Commercial break coming back here in a second. Lou man. See you, Lou man. I see you, buddy.
Best car, Group 2.
Go Allgaier, go.
Gibbs Racing, Taylor Gray, the rookie from New Mexico. And, you know, when you look,
I'd go Denny tomorrow.
Class, and we've said it.
But who looks good today? What driver? Allgaier so far.
Such a storyline. But 4 rookies in the top 10 last week at COTA. And 2 top 10s this year for Taylor Gray. And really, when you go to Atlanta, they crashed out. He would have been top 10 there, too, probably. I just am so impressed because he never won in the Truck Series. He makes the move up. And even though he didn't win in trucks, he had a number of Xfinity starts last year where he impressed. But the one was his debut at Richmond. And when I saw what he did there, and I think about some of the characteristics of Richmond and how it is similar to what we see here, he's someone I had circled on my card a little bit for this weekend.
Yeah, and I think, and Parker referenced this, Richmond and Phoenix, like Joe Gibbs Racing has really good cars
what's
on the
up?
track.
Go blue, he says.
But that guy on the right, he was my crew chief when I very first started in the Xfinity Series back in 2001. And Jason Ratcliffe, it has just been incredible to watch his career and every driver that he's been paired up with. And man, if I'm a young guy, that's who I want on the pit box with me, because he's kind of lived it all and knows as well as anyone. He's been through it and can help guide him.
Jason is a top-level Cup crew chief who chooses to have the schedule of the Xfinity Series, which he's made very clear many times, but he is a great operator.
He's won here 5 times. Once in Cup, 4 in Xfinity.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's really good. Really good.
Jesse Love for the win. Dick says.
41 car here at Phoenix. And you know
what's up, Kenneth Clark? Yes, sir. Let's go race.
I remember. It's a long. Is it in black and white?
21 years ago.
It's a little grainy. Yeah, that was really cool to be able to win here. And it's Kyle Busch that finished second. That was the start.
Anton Bowman's got a good shot today. That 17. Anybody in that 17 is gonna have a good shot.
Tips, of course,
with some incredible hair. It's fun though. That car, Brian Patty was the crew chief, and it was so fast every single week that we would go out and run it. It was cool to come here and get a win.
A little different track then.
What's up, Susan? Good to see you.
You didn't have a shortcut.
Yeah, quite a bit different than what we have right now.
What about that 41?
Sam Mayer.
Yeah, we definitely need to watch the 41 and the 00, those Haas factory cars. SHR was so good here, and so Haas factory using that baseline that both Cole Custer and Riley Herbst had here specifically last season. But it was interesting talking with Sam Mayer in the garage yesterday about Phoenix specifically. You know, he grew up on shorter flat tracks, but for some reason in the Xfinity car, it just hasn't suited him. And he said that he's never gotten along with this racetrack for whatever reason, and he's hoping to change that today. Only 1 top 5 and 7 starts here currently, though, as you expect, as most drivers are saying, just tight in the center through here. They said they could use a little bit more pace, but overall just fighting tight conditions.
I would have lost the bet that both of those Haas factory cars would be outside the top 10, top 15 in practice. Never would have believed that, but if you can right the ship in qualifying, you put yourself in position, and strategy could be a part of the game later today, too.
Triton, you going to go to Epic?
Daniel Dye.
You going to try to go?
Had that career best a couple of weeks ago at Atlanta. How low can you go?
That's about as low as you want to be.
That's
right
where
there.
you might dip that left front into that paint there, but that yellow line, there's a lot of grip in those paint areas because for whatever reason, as this place is worn, you get down there, it rubbers up, you can see the car in front.
Rainy dimes.
Touch it on the entry.
10.
Maybe we'll touch it on the exit. We're going to go below here, that line, and it's just you're dealing with tiny game of inches of where you place that left front and where you can get the car to find the grip, and it's such a fine line here as you drive around, and especially as you lose the tire grip and the fall off.
And he missed it right there. Overdrove the entry just a little bit, got on the brakes and couldn't get back down. You want to be able to touch that most of the time. As I watch these races back, I mean, Justin Allgaier is as good as anyone here, and he was really had his left front on that paint almost every single lap.
Sam Mayer's my lucky tip of the week. I picked him as well, Greg.
Justin, and I'm going to try to emulate exactly what
17 all the way.
I didn't hear any downshifting yet, though, which is interesting because those guys last year were downshifting at some point in the run on both ends of the racetrack. Typically, you'd only have it on one end, but it was it's interesting to see those guys aren't doing that just yet.
8 days removed from celebrating his birthday and 1 week removed from that top 10 finish at Circuit of the Americas. How about it for Blaine Perkins last Saturday afternoon?
That was a great run. You know, did it really on speed as well to be in the top 10. Has a new crew chief this weekend, and Cody McKenzie, who was my engineer at Big Machine Racing 23 and 24. He's moved over there, Jordan Anderson Racing, becoming a crew chief. He's wanted to do that for a long time. He's a really smart individual, so there's a lot of momentum for this race team. And wow,
right now,
plotting this early.
Is she iRacing?
Born to race.
My goodness.
Somewhere the Hall of Famer, Mark Martin, is smiling.
See, Jamie, for your son, you had to start him early.
Can't even get into how much the Fox crew is going to draw out the enduring portrait for Catherine Legge.
Right
hate them cartoons. They're creepy.
Blaine's a nice kid from Bakersfield, California. When we talked to him in the pre-race, we mentioned the Kevin Harvick influence. And he didn't really have a connection to Kevin other than the fact they're both from Bakersfield. He said you just can't get away from it. If you are from Bakersfield and you're in stock car racing, you know you're going to hear a lot about Kevin.
Well, he's young enough. He could probably be Kevin's kid. So that's probably why
I hope Kevin's watching. I really do.
I hope so, too.
I hope Kevin's on the CW app. Sammy Smith won here as an 18-year-old rookie. Was a senior
it's just
in
leg.
high school,
okay. Thank you.
For Joe Gibbs Racing. In fact,
Do you feel
Amarillo
Amarillo
races here, 8
the
different
donut?
winners. The
Well,
only
yes,
one
I think so.
here today, Sammy Smith, and here's a look back.
Allgaier's going to give him a run for his money, though.
He burst onto the scene with this win, really. Coming into the Xfinity Series early in the season, they get a win like this.
If you want
it looked
to.
Like the sky was the limit for Sammy Smith. Wasn't able to replicate that as they got further in the season.
You're welcome, Jeanette.
Last year, Junior Motorsports was tougher until they got to Talladega. And it's, I think though, for a young driver, there's moments that propel you forward, and there's
Sammy Smith, that DEI, baby.
Work harder to make you better, and I think what he went through last year after the
Sammy, my dark horse for that reason, right there. Okay,
has made him a better driver, a better competitor. And he talked to us about that in the preseason, about how he had to change some things in his work ethic and that sort of stuff. And I think that's only going to make you better.
And Sammy won here. It was his 13th career start, and paired now with the crew chief Philip Bell, they feel like big things are ahead, as Parker alluded to this season. Dylan, what do you have on that 21 car?
Yeah, they are down in 22nd right now and going to work trying to get it a little bit better. This was some recent radio from Austin about what he's battling.
I just can't turn the steering wheel on entry just really straight with the wheel. Once I get to the line, I have to dump a lot of wheel into it, and then it has like an over-rotation across the center, and then I kind of buzz the tires on, throttles down if I'm not careful with it.
And so he later elaborated a little bit on that and said, we feel like we're on ice. We just got to get the right rear in the track without killing the front. And this is interesting because I talked to Austin this morning. He said, we always struggle here as the track lays rubber. I always just get in a four-wheel slide. We can't figure out why when we're in the rubber, the car just doesn't do what we want it to do. It doesn't make any grip. So they sort of expected this exact battle. They just got to figure out how to get it better. So that's the challenge for the 21 right now.
Right, Dylan. I'm not surprised. This has been a tough track for Austin Hill and that 21 team, even the Championship 4 last year. And what he's talking about there, that loose on entry, then you put a bunch of wheel, that is historically what you will fight at this place, where you get the car does one thing on the entry, you ask it to do another thing in the middle, and then it does a third thing on the exit. That's called the corner being disconnected, and it's not a fun time.
Hill is 22nd, teammate Jesse Love 11th. Justin Allgaier, best.
All right, so Allgaier still on the top of the leaderboard. He was in Group 1, but he's not on the track. But Taylor Gray, Alex Bowman, William Swallowich, Sammy Smith, all in Group 2, moving on up in the leaderboard. But coming up very shortly, NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying, and they only get one shot. You get one shot. There's no group, extra group. It's just boom, boom, and that's it. So hope you guys are ready to have some fun with me today. I'm ready. Roma J says, does anyone know why Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s son quit racing in the Xfinity Series? I don't know. I was fortunate to be there one time that he raced. We also covered the Xfinity race last year when he was in that Hellman's 88 for Junior Motorsports. So, but thank you guys for being here on this early Saturday morning. We appreciate you. I know a lot of stuff goes on your weekends, but you choose to hang out with us here, which makes me feel pretty good. But thank you guys. My Vols playing today at 1 o'clock. We'll be keeping track with them. And then we'll see where they do in the SEC tournament next week. Coming up next week, it'll be either a game on Thursday or Friday. If the Vols play on Friday night, I might do that instead of the truck race. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I'll let you know. We'll maybe put a poll up or something like that. But thank you guys for hanging with us. I got to take a picture with him last year. Nice. That's cool. That's cool. All right, hit that subscribe, y'all. Trying to get to that 31,000 subscribers up there. 31,000 subscribers is our goal here. We love to get there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe for us. Hit that subscribe. For some reason, actually, let's do this. Let's bring this over here. I don't have to worry about it. All right. Thank you guys for hitting that like for us as well. Jeffrey Earnhardt is Dale Earnhardt's nephew. Yes, he is. He is. With 258 of us here, Cole, your friend is iRacing now. Hey, what's going on here? Why can't I? Okay, there we go.
In Xfinity Series competition, but so much experience the last few years at all of these tracks in the Craftsman Truck Series, including here in the desert where he won 2 years ago, part of the Championship 4 last season.
Yeah, they had their first 2 races. You think back to Daytona, Atlanta, good cars.
Christian Eckes.
The car was just destroyed. Like by the time they got to the end of the race.
Fifth in Dakota last
They
week.
want to have just a clean day today. We obviously have a lot of faith in him and his ability inside of a car. And I think that a flat track kind of fits his style. Kim, do you have more?
Yeah, and so we talk about these rookies
Yeah,
and,
like
and who they're
Alec
paired
Bowman.
with crew chief-wise. It also matters who they're paired with spotter-wise. And Coleman Presley is the eyes in the sky for Christian Eckes, right now coaching him through each lap and where he can find a better line. Take a listen.
2 is grabbing apron on the entry as well. He's the one I'm comparing to. About 3/4 of his left front tire was on the apron with that same entry speed. Another headlight lower than that, and he's all 4 on the apron on exit. That was a 10th better through 1 and 2 that time. Really strong 3 and 4 right there. A lot of time made up. 28.98.
And this is not unique to this lap. It's every lap. Coleman giving him that information, telling him which fastest line based on what he's seeing the track give other drivers. And I saw them
Brandon
yesterday
Jones,
in
he's
the
in
garage. They
P7.
spent close
Fastest,
to probably an
7th
hour
fastest.
sitting down together talking about what lines they thought were going to work well here. So
What's up, Danny?
Coleman
Good to see
giving
you.
lots of good
Cole already
information
beat you
to
here,
rookie
bud.
driver Christian Eckes.
Coleman Presley's a student of the game.
Oh, massive student. I'm glad.
Very analytical.
And
Josh
Kim pointed
Berry's
it
your
out
NASCAR
perfectly,
driver.
when you have a spotter like that, I'm a huge Coleman Presley fan. I've listened to him for years with Joe Logano, and the way he paints the picture and all the information he gives Joe Logano is immense. It's amazing what Joey's able to take in. But that sort of knowing that
Any
he has
junior
that driving
motorsports for
background
the
can give
pole,
you some of
just
those
partial.
pointers.
All
That's
right,
just
sorry,
such
Roseanne.
an advantage for a driver who's going to the Xfinity Series for the first time.
What do you think about
trying to
this
learn as fast as
07 Nick
possible.
Lights
You have any
car?
idea what that means?
Yes.
No, not you.
It looks like they
You
stole
have any
Alex
idea?
Bowman
On the
or William
22
Byron's
drivers
car and then
in
put a
this
blue wrap on it.
weekend Who were born after the first Warped Tour.
Do you know what the Warped Tour was or is?
You know who's an expert on it.
Who?
The guy to your right.
I thought that's
Come on, fill us in. Nick Lights, the Warped Tour
Smoking a pork
sponsorship.
soldier.
Tell us more about
Awesome,
This
Garrett.
is pretty cool. This is near and dear to my heart, the Warped Tour.
Go
I
JRM.
mean, growing up, I was a big emo music fan, punk rock, alternative, whatever you want to call it. They're coming back.
do it
the
low and
30-year
slow,
anniversary.
Garrett?
They asked a couple of us to
225,
pick 3 songs from some of
20
the bands that
hours,
are playing
or
this
do you
year.
rap
They did a
yours?
graphic about that, which got a lot of play out there. I'm a huge Taking Back Sunday fan. They're not playing. I've gotten to hang out with them.
What's he saying?
But
And Garrett, do
there's
you have
lot
a
of
pit
great
boss
bands that
that's
go
on
to the
Sheldon
Warped
Creed's
Tour.
car this
I'm just
weekend?
saying, you know. Hey,
like
Kim, you're with me, right? Big emo fan?
Oh, yeah. I went to Warped Tour
I agree
like
all the
10
way,
years
Steelo,
in
with
a
that
row.
07 ride. Yeah, it looks
Really?
like Willie
And
Byron. It looks like Willie
Taking Back
B's
Sunday
car
would be on the list.
with a blue
My
wrap
Chemical
on it.
Romance would be on the list. And obviously, like the big ones, Blink-182, but I like the smaller bands are what I love. Dangerous Summer, some of those. You know who would love this conversation is Dale Jr.
He would. Cam, they're looking at me
I
and they're
know.
saying basically, I'm not okay. Sorry, I'm done.
Dangerous Summer is something that Jamie and I experienced,
Every year.
but it had nothing to do.
All right, so Allgaier still no one touching that, and that's the end of practice. Justin Allgaier fastest for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Anthony Alfredo fast pasta there too. So we're coming up for round 1, well, group 1 of 2 of the practice. Now there is no extra round, that second round that we always had for the top 10 to move on. There is not. So it's just all together and 2 laps and whatever's the fastest. Pit Boss Electric, it's about 225, hoping to wrap at 180, target 205. Hoping ready by 6 or 7, started at 7 a.m. Awesome, man. Yep, that's about right. I don't like wrapping mine, so I like to smoke mine through the night, but good deal. I hope you have a good time with those pork shoulder. Happy Saturday, NASCAR fans of all ages. What's up, Regine? Good to see you. Who will get the poll? Who has got the poll for tomorrow's race? It's not till later on. We'll find that out. We'll be doing that here in a little bit. Strange to see the 48 not in purple. I know, just that purple and brown. I was saying in our vlog that if you were a Cleveland, or I said in one of the comments, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you might like it. I don't know, but a lot of people like the furry creatures on the car. So as he's running that furry creatures car this weekend. Mike Baker says it's always a Chevy party in the Xfinity Series. More than half the field are Chevys. What time is the Xfinity race? George says it is going to be at 4 o'clock. We'll be on at 3:30. 3:30 Central, 3:30 Central for pre-race. Great day to hang with CeeLo. That's right. Hope Josh Berry gets the pole. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see that in a little bit, but maybe that 21 can do it. See, they're all
out of this left front, so it'll be just how we started.
I don't know who. I wish NASCAR.com would tell you who's talking.
I think you just need to pull a 30-second out of the right front.
All right, here we go.
How about the Toyotas from Joe Gibbs Racing? All 4 of them inside the top 10.
Raise the track bar up 1 round right now, please.
Talked about Jesse Love right there. You see he's in 11th. Sammy Smith, former winner here. Harrison Burton. I can't wait to see like the guys that were in that first session. Like how much different is the track going to be for qualifying than the way that they ended?
Yeah, one team that's hoping it's way different would be there in 22nd. Austin Hill, he was not happy with that race car. We heard that report from Dylan about all the changes they were making and all the problems he had. The corner massively disconnected, and that is just so tough to make speed here. But I've seen Austin practice like this and then be fast in qualifying.
Yeah, Blaine Perkins right there. We talked about getting the top 10 last week at COTA. My gut tells me, Parker, that Austin Hill's going to get it figured out.
Yeah,
I think there'll be a connection.
that's probably a good bet to make.
No Fords inside the top 10. Let's get a Ford report. Here's Dylan.
And we're going to catch up with Sheldon Creed, who is 17th after practice. Ran 37 laps, which is as much as anybody.
Sheldon Creed.
I heard on the radio kind of what you guys were battling with, but did you feel like you got it better over the course of as many laps as you ran?
Yeah, I mean, I went straight through there and ran 37 laps. So started really low on air and was kind of wishy-washy that first 5 or 6 laps. And then, yeah, I feel close. A couple things to work on, played with some brake bias and just a little things that I could control and little line stuff. So overall, I feel pretty good. A couple things to work on for the race. Hopefully we qualify
Smoking trout today, Danny. Brown sugar, awesome, bro.
Yeah, thankful to have Pit Boss Grills on the
I'm
car
not a big
this week.
seafood fan. I'm not a big fish fan, so.
Mustang that I believe is fast as Xfinity Mobile. Proud of everyone at Haas.
Oh, they're showing it, Snake. Or on the CW app.
What's on
It's
the
on the
grill this
CW
weekend?
app
What
for
are you
free.
cooking up?
What's up, Snake?
We've actually been grilling the last couple of days
Trunks are
here,
back next
and,
week, Greg.
Did some tomahawk steaks, some tacos. The Phoenix grill is awesome. I have a DX series at home now, so yeah, really excited for this partnership with Pit Boss and Road Ranger, obviously friends of Jacqueline, and we're trying to sell more races and get this car, looking good every week. So,
Going to lunch at the 00 pit, Kim.
Yeah, and how about Taylor Gray?
Awesome, man.
Fastest
Thank
in
you so
that
much, Nate.
Group 2, and then fastest of the Toyotas. Did you check all the boxes you wanted to for practice, though?
Yeah, I think, we got a little bit of work to do. I felt like our JGR operation there, our GR Supra is, not quite as fast as Xfinity Mobile, but I think we're going to get there. Just got to make a few adjustments for race trim-wise and just get a little better later in the run. But I'm pretty confident in Jason. He's got some pretty good track history here. So, yeah, I think we'll be good.
You mentioned race trim-wise, making the right adjustments. How much did the track change during the course of your practice, and then what's the expectation once it gets a little bit hotter under race conditions?
Yeah, I think my expectation is just going to lose total grip, right? It's going to start getting tighter. Track's going to start laying rubber. So just going to have to kind of keep that in the back of my mind, right, when we're making adjustments for the race later on today. And obviously, qualifying is pretty important here, so we got to get a good qualifying lap.
Taylor, a former winner here in the ARCA Menard Series.
Taylor Gray, as Kim pointed
Ready
out.
for the Daytona Road Course over Mexico. We'll see what happens with that.
What he did in practice in qualifying, we'll have it for you next right here.
All right, so let's go through the qualifying position here for Group 1. Or is everybody qualifying? Yeah, it's everybody. Okay, so there is not just one group. It's everybody. So we'll get rid of the Group A because it's everybody. So see how this goes. Dawson Graham will go first. Parker Retzlaff, Mason Massey, Garrett Smithley, Greg Van Alst, Thomas, and you, Chris Wright, Joey Gase, Brandon Jones, Kyle Sieg, Matt Benedetto, Harrison Burton, Jeremy Commence, Josh Blicky, Fast Pasta, and Anthony Fredo, Dirty Nick Sanchez in 16th. Al Geiger's going to go 17th. Brendan Poole, Carson Quaffle, Jeb Burton, Dean Thompson, Ryan Ellis, Ryan Sieg, Daniel Dye, Danny Times, Josh Williams, Blaine Perkins, Nick Lights, Eric Almirola, William Swallowich, Alex Bowman, Sammy Smith, Sheldon Creed, Taylor Gray, Christian Eckes, Connor Zilich, Jesse Love, Sam Mayer, and Austin Hill. So there is your lineup for the qualifying. And we'll see how it goes. I guess they're just worried about the whole, the whole stuff in the news, but we won't get into that. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what they'll make. Show the race. I can't pipe dope. But let me show you. Let me show you if you can watch the race. Everybody, get your phone out. CeeLo's going to hold a class. CeeLo's going to hold your class. If you have your phone, okay, you're going to go to the CW app. The CW app is on your phone. Everybody has a phone. If you don't have a phone, you can go to your laptop or PC and go to the CW Sports website. It is there too as well. Right here in the middle of the app is the qualifying session. You can watch it for free. Click on it. You click on that. It's going to show a mini commercial, and then you can watch it for free. Okay? Pipe don't miss the test. He did. So you can watch it for free, y'all. We're holding a class here. Trying to get y'all technical here with a CW app. Now, you won't be able to watch the race on the CW app today, but you'll be able to watch cameras. And when we get to the race today, I'll show you how to do that. So there you go. Professor CeeLo. That's right. All right. I want you guys to be able to watch and be able to have the stuff in front of you to be able to enjoy the races with us and chat in our chat and have a good time. I'm not here to keep you from not watching other things, okay? So make sure you watch that. If you didn't get that, rewind a little bit. Watch it over. Step-by-step process on how to do it. Here's Harrison Burton, AM Racing, turning it around.
Track changed quite a bit from even the beginning of your round to the end of your round?
Yeah, we waited for, a lap or so to let those guys kind of blow the dust off. And I felt like as the track went, it just kind of, for me, got tighter and tighter and tighter. And some of that was just our car balance and putting cycles on the tires.
Yes,
so you know how it is. I mean, it's hard to know for sure, but I assume the track was a little slower for Group B, and we'll try and readjust our balance accordingly, free it up, and I'll have to go lay down a lap as fast as Xfinity Mobile in the Dex Imaging Ford Mustang, but I think we'll be good. It's easy to drive, just a little slow right now, so that just means freed up and make me hang on.
Thanks, Harrison.
I like that attitude. Freed up and hang on. That's what it takes to go faster.
Rick Ware's next
This place is probably one of the hardest qualifying laps of the year because unlike other short tracks,
here we
you
go.
just get one lap.
Dawson Cram. Let's go, baby.
As those other smaller tracks.
Yeah, it's just so hard to get heat in the tires during that first lap. If your balance is off,
whichever
end's off, you either slide the front real bad or you're chattering the back. And I always felt like this, we call it a short track, but it races kind of like an intermediate. The speed inside the car is incredibly fast.
It's a tremendous balance, isn't it?
I can look. Hold on a second. I'll let you know.
Places we've talked about so many times in so many different ways. Qualifying one round, one lap as we talk about it to get it done. 38 cars here, so everybody makes the show. And the first out, Dawson Cram, going to make his first start of 2025, driving that 74 for
No, it's not.
Harmon.
And this young man has been really
Yes, it is on. It's on CW.
He's driven the last couple years. I've seen him.
It's on the CW if you get that.
Yes. For smaller teams, he hasn't quite got that big opportunity, but he's been grinding to get there, working hard at it. Good to see him back in the series.
Best career finish in limited starts actually happened right here at Phoenix. Opening lap, 29 seconds. 29 flat. Zeros across the board after that 29. Next up,
Ryan Sieg was 25th fastest in practice. 25th.
Oh, and he made his first ever start here. And I remember 2022.
All right, Parker Reslap. Let's do it, baby.
So I go down in the garage. I'm like, who's this Parker kid? I confirm it's Retzloff and not Retzlaff. I confirm, he's from Wisconsin. He's moved down to North Carolina. And he was driving for the Sieg family. And that's basically what we knew about him. He goes out on Saturday morning and qualified 6th. I'm like, what in the world? Since that time, on pole day, he just finds a way to get it done.
This is ridiculous.
And we say that, we talked about the problems they had last week, but He's a good little short track racer and really
I
good
tried
in
to
these
help, Pipe
situations.
And you
Folk.
can see all these guys are
Pipe dope
having
or
a
whatever
hard
they
time
call
holding on that
themselves.
yellow line as they
Tried to
enter
help.
turns 1 and 2. You see he's able to get down. Just almost gets to the apron right there. As you watch all their hands, though, coming to the green, they're all shaking the car back and forth, just trying to get some heat in the tires.
P1 for Parker
It's
Retzlaff.
unseasonably cool here today compared to what we normally have.
And that was a big loose entry moment there into 3, and you'll continually see that if you try to go just a little too deep, the car gets very light. You go over a crest as you fall into the banking, and you've got to be pinpoint perfect in terms of where you place that car when you land in 3 and 4 to get the run out. That hurt him a little bit. He lost about a 10th coming out of 4.
If Harrison Burton sees that, he's not going to feel so good about it. Just free it up and let it rip.
Here's Mason Massey.
Mason Massey.
Parker Retzlaff has got it so far with a 28.092.
Driver from Georgia, also raced 2 weeks ago at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
A little high, actually, coming to the green, not able to get it to the bottom. It tells me he's probably loose in. You see him working the wheel back and forth. If you're not able to get it to the bottom.
Yeah, you can watch it on Xfinity as well. Cable TV channel on Xfinity.
Cut across the dog leg.
Did someone say Rick
a little
Ware?
more extra pressure on Mason here. This team is planning to run this car.
Check it out. All right, go check it out, Greg.
At Las Vegas, so they're
they're all together
cleanly. That's a little even added pressure in a really tough qualifying session to be like, hey, go as fast as you can, but we don't only need this car today. We need it next week.
You know, and we talked to a lot of teams in the garage. Everybody's got a different approach on how they're going to handle these 2 races out west at 2 tracks that really don't have a lot of similarities, Phoenix and Vegas. Massey on the
28.880.
Yeah, he had a big moment right in the middle of turns 3 and 4.
All right, here is Garrett Smithley.
Lost a couple of tenths right there.
Best lap today
pipe dope, then you're out of luck. You just hang out here with us then, bud.
Retzlaff at 28.
Well, how are you watching us if you're not on a phone?
Garrett Smithley, 4th car out.
You're watching on your laptop or computer? You can watch it on the CW Sports website. Digital rabbit here, baby.
Back to the line for Massey.
Oh,
he kept it off the wall.
He almost hit the wall.
Barely. 29.10 for driver 14.
Yeah, it looked to me like his car did not want to turn.
It looks like an accident attorney.
As soon as he would get to the gas, the same thing happened in 1 and 2. It got loose, and he got aggressive in turns 3 and 4, trying to get back to the gas. You can see the start-finish line. You see he has a huge moment right here. It was great to be on board with him and watch him trying to. It looked worse in the in-car than it did outside.
Yeah. He had those black gloves. There was a little bit of highlight of color there, but Smithley doing quite a dance as he came back.
You can see rubber laying behind him. It was so sideways. That's an aggressive move, the throttle there. You kind of want to chip into it a little bit more. I was going to say before this, I felt like it was a little bit of a conservative lap. I take that all back for what I saw on the exit there.
NASCAR barbecue sun above freezing.
Snaps at one point. You just lose the right rear.
Above freezing. There you go.
Deep breath, right? Greg Van Alst is out in the 35, Kim.
And rookie Nick Sanchez about to
I don't know. I didn't watch it,
so we'll
Eugene.
keep it quick. Do you have options here in qualifying? Are you limited?
30 Nick Sanchez.
That's what I'm curious to try to figure out, right? I'm still kind of undecided where I'm going to run on the racetrack, so we'll just see these next couple cars that go out and see what our car could do. I hope it's as fast as Xfinity Mobile. We had a rough practice session, so tuning on it, trying to make it better for the race.
That's always tough. You're walking up with the car. You're looking at
he
what's
qualified
been done so far,
29.54. He's 5th
idea
fastest.
of what the best line is, where you want to run, and then you have to make that decision, Adam. When you get in the car and you get to the moment of going down in the corner, you got to make a decision.
Pulled Michigan out of the freezer to fall.
That's when it can really go wrong.
Second start of 2025 comes today for Anderson, Indiana's Greg Van Alst. He's 5th on the board of the 5 that have been out. 29.54. Here's the 70 of Thomas Annunziata.
Annunziata. Okay, I finally learned how to say it.
2 weeks ago, this team was in the top 10 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Cope Family Racing when Leland Honeyman Jr. was able
to deliver. And unfortunately, mechanical issues is what
forced them out in the qualifying session last week. Hated for him because he had a really fast car in practice, did Annunziata.
Well, I've told you how to
I don't know
watch
if
it.
this is going to be a fast lap, but it looks
good
good.
luck.
Like, I like the way he was aggressive across the dog leg. He was able to hook that line. He missed it a little bit right there at 3 and 4. But his turns 1 and 2 look good. You see black marks off the back tires.
Ready pasta.
Yes. Great lap.
I mean, he was in the red in like a tenth of a second, almost 2/10 of a second off the pace.
28.114.
28.11.
28-1.
Copy.
Second.
And that was a great example of backing up turn 3. We heard that transmission to Nick
Well, he heard the
Sanchez.
spotter
Yeah.
from the other guy.
All right, brakes, y'all.
You gotta
Watch
back
out.
it up.
Chris Wright's
What
on
you saw
the
there,
track.
You alluded to, Adam. He gave
Chris
up,
Wright
fell
is on
about
the track.
2/10
Watch
behind
out, y'all.
Retzloff as he got to the entry of 3, but then made that all up on the exit. We saw Retzloff get very loose into 3. That's where you don't get the exit you need. So that's the balance you have to find at this place. It's just so difficult.
It's funny when you sit in the seat that I sat in, you live and die by that tracker, right? I mean, you see where he is in comparison. Is it red? Is it green? The two of you live by what line's he running? How quick did he get back to the gas? The mentality, and Jamie, you said it. I mean, it looks like a good lap, and overall he executed well and is able to go second of the 6 that have been out. And here's Chris Wright in the 5.
We look at car language, as we call it.
Going left.
Chris Wright looks like he missed the entry to turn 3 right there. Runs a little high, and that car looks really loose at him. I saw black marks coming to the green off those rear tires. He's going to end up 3rd overall at 28.
Trying to get to 200 likes. Help us out. 200 likes. Help us out. What's up, Matthew? Good to see you, bud.
Well, we found Josh Williams down here, who I thought was going to be in a little bit better mood, but you're not feeling too good today. So what have you got in the tank, and what does this car have for you today?
I think the car's got a lot more than I got right now. I got sick at COTA like Saturday morning, so I've been fighting that all week. I'm not sure what I got going on. I'm going to take a trip to the infield care center and get some IVs, but yeah, man, this sickness came over me, as fast as Xfinity internet, so that's a bummer. But,
that was pretty good.
The 811 machine looks pretty good, man, and I think it's one of the best cars I've had here so far, so
that was pretty good.
All right, well, hopefully a good race car makes him feel a little bit better.
I don't know about you, Dylan, but that's a first for me, working Xfinity in that way.
That
was Greg Williams, Bronny.
That's right.
I don't care what happens
Greg
the rest of the
Williams.
season. That is the most creative Xfinity mention we might hear all year.
Josh Williams.
Well done, Josh. Feel better, buddy. He did sound like
that was
he's got a
Josh
cylinder,
Williams.
though,
Yeah. Those IVs are powerful, though. They can help you a ton, but tough to be out here in the desert. It's dry. Oh, that's sick in a race car. Actually, the best time when you're sick
I don't know,
is
buddy.
just in the race.
They definitely need to
Every other
replace
moment's so
Levis.
tough.
You're right. Josh drank that Mexican
text
water
him this
tequila.
week because Josh does a lot of visits to children's hospitals when we go to the various tracks.
All right, here's Brandon Jones.
You going to do anything in Phoenix? He said, I'm not. I've been sick all week. I was hoping that he had overcome it. Obviously, he hasn't. By the way, paying off Joey Gase down there with his teammate, 29-20 for Gase in the 53. And Brandon Jones talked about him in practice. Won here 2020, driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, and back with the coach in 2025.
Yeah, great track for a guy that needs a good run. You see, he got a little bit loose right there coming to the green, but this will give us a good idea, I think, of kind of where the track is right now. We've talked about how good the Gibbs cars have been here. Brandon's comfortable at this racetrack. You see, he sailed it off into turn 1 and has missed the bottom, but it's not always horrible to do that. If you can carry the momentum and keep the throttle down, being a little
Brandon
high,
won here in
not the preferred
2020.
line, but you see, check that track.
What up, Vic? Good to see you, man.
Vic.
Vic.
Easy in, Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Able to gain quite a bit of speed.
Brandon
On
Jones,
the exit
P1.
off turn 4, and good lap.
I thought
27.
he broke the tracker, actually.
What's up, Bubble B?
And
was
as
going
soon
so
as it came
fast.
back, he was fast enough to put himself in the green, top of the board for Brandon Jones.
Brandon
First one down
Jones,
to 27.84. 27.84.
All right, here comes the big lollipop.
28 is Kyle Sieg.
I'll see.
Man, that's a great looking race car, isn't it?
Beautiful. I love that. Is that like an Arizona look?
That's the Arizona flag, right?
Oh, well, that would make sense, though.
Did you know that, or did someone tell you in your ear?
Well,
They had to have told
You know,
me.
I have good assistants up here. I appreciate you calling me out, though.
Well,
Are you impressed?
I
with
didn't
the
even think about
Arizona
that. It
colors?
is the Arizona
Anything?
flag.
I just
Typically,
want a
if I
little
say
feedback.
something intelligent, someone's giving me information, and if I read something intelligent, someone
Drew, go
else
lose that turn.
hang on.
Thing is loose right there. He was committed on the entry, and it looked like it was going to be a good lap. But when you see him get loose, you can tell the tracker just started fading away.
He put his
Thanks for the subs, y'all. Appreciate it. Hit that sub. We're trying to get to 31,000.
It's great in the race, but in a qualifying lap, that's a tricky balance to use. You're stretching to use extra racetrack there, and he got major sideways.
He ends up fourth. 10 drivers have made a qualifying run. Jones, Retzloff, and Annunziata, the top 3. Allgaier, Burton, Quapple, some of those will.
All right, so here's what you got coming up here. Next coming up, Matty D, Harrison Burton, Jeremy Clements, Josh Bilicki, Fast Pasta, Nick Sanchez, Justin Allgaier, Brennan Poole, Carson Quaffle, and Jeb Burton are your next 10. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hit that like for us. Hit that subscribe, as Brandon Jones right now on P1 with the pole at a 27.84 time for that. Coila, what's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. The 28 has those colors also of the Vatican Pope's guards. They dress weird. Regine says, I can't wait for Alex Bowman's paint scheme. Best friends Paul's race for Phoenix. Yeah, we'll see that later on today. Or coming up, NASCAR Xfinity. No, NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying. And matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat now. So we have that. Do that right now. Join us for NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying next. Join. All right. Place pin. There we go. In the pin message, Elmer. Good to see you. Appreciate you. The puppies and kitties on that 48. Must be pet them. Must pet them. That's right. In the pin message above is the NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying coming up next on our channel. So make sure you go over there and hang out with us. Hit that like for us early and stand by. We'll be live right after this is over. Probably take just a little bit of a break, but we'll be back. But practice and qualifying coming up at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock on the on our channel.
Racing at 5 o'clock. Carla Metz is in the house for NASCAR Countdown Live. And the Cup race tomorrow on FS1, 3:30 Eastern Time, is when you can watch NASCAR's Top Shelf from here at Phoenix. Christopher Bell going for the rare hat trick, the back-to-back-to-back.
Matty D in that Viking Chevrolet.
Tomorrow afternoon. What a start for the driver out of Oklahoma.
Wouldn't be surprised either.
No.
It's the place he could do it to be here.
Won this race last year.
Yeah.
Here's the 99 Matt DiBenedetto. I was watching an old Cup race the other day, Road America. This was like 2021. Mm-hmm. I think you were on that show, Parker, doing the race.
I remember it vividly.
And all the time that Matt DiBenedetto stayed at the front of the field in that 21 car. I mean, when you think about his history in stock car racing,
Matty D got done
really,
dirty.
Really good things. And we talked during practice. First full-time operation, year one for the 99 in Viking Motorsports.
And I love his mentality. You know, we talked to him preseason. Every time I talk to Matt, he's just in a completely different headspace than that period of his life in the Cup Series.
P4 for Matt Benedetto.
Teams had success, then limited success, was forced out of the Cup Series, and now has been given this opportunity, and he's just so grateful for it. Ends up.
Yeah, I was actually there, Bronny, when Denny
but, you know, I just think
passed him for the lead when he was leading.
Of him, what he's building here.
I was actually there for that.
A cool time in his life, and you can just tell that when you talk.
Whatever happened to Paul Menard? I don't know.
Top 5: Jones, Retzloff, and Annunziata. Parker referenced DiBenedetto is 4th. 5th right now, Kyle Sieg. Sieg in a Ford, so is Harrison Burton in the 25.
Burton.
Well, we'll get a good idea here of did they make the right adjustments to this 25 car? Is it going to be too loose? We'll see. He's coming to the green right here.
Yeah.
We'll be the second to
3:30 today.
Yeah, he'll be the first to know. You see, he clipped a little bit of that apron, but his hands look pretty smooth on the wheel as he exited off of turn 4, that big jolt across the dog leg, then back up onto the track.
Green is good.
Yeah.
Great start.
Green is good, and you see, man, he is right on that yellow line. It had to feel good inside of the car.
He wrapped it perfectly.
Yeah, lost a little bit of momentum off because he was so committed to that line around the corner. Again, it looks to me like Retzloff must have overdrove turn 3 because everybody has been a little easier in and has been able to exit the corner quicker. Overall, not a bad lap right there.
Good lap.
Yeah,
Really good lap.
27.92.
Second right now to Brandon Jones is Harrison Burton Dillon.
Found Alex Bowman down
Here's
here.
Bowman.
Who's making his lone Xfinity Series start this year in the Hendrick Motorsports 17 car. Home race, good memories for you, and welcome back to the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, excited to be here. It should be fun. You know, I haven't driven an Xfinity car on an oval. Like, I think I've run one race in the last 5 years. So excited to be back. These cars are a lot of fun to drive. I forgot
Bowman
how
the
much fun they were to
showman,
drive.
baby.
So, thanks to HendrickCars.com and Mr. H and JG and everybody for letting me do this. I felt really good in practice. So a little tighter than we wanted to be, but honestly, for not driving one in a long time, I felt pretty good about things. So looking forward to today.
Thanks, Alex. Busy day, as he said to me just a bit ago. He'll jump right from this car to the Cup car for practice, and then back to the Xfinity car for the race today.
Jeremy Cummins
for the opportunity, and JG.
P2 for Jeremy Cummins.
Jeff won here.
27.90
race at Phoenix. Good lap going for Jeremy Clements, but just dropped to the red through 3 and 4. Still puts him second, 27.90.
Really good 1 and 2. Right on pace with Jones, and basically just lost a little bit on that exit there, the slide that we've seen continually from a lot of cars.
Josh Balicki up next. Watch out.
Short tracks.
Watch out for Chris Wright.
Put in the top 10. Sometimes tougher for them to stay there on long run pace, and then once you get into pit stops and that sort of thing, but he always excels in finding some extra speed in qualifying.
Josh Balicki in the 91. DGM with Jesse Awuji. Their cars have put some good runs together in the first 3 weeks of the season. 3 top 15 finishes. When you look at that group, they've done some.
Whatever happened to Juan Pablo? He did one race last year.
3 top 20s. I said top 15s, top 20s for this group. So good effort for them, Kim.
Josh Balicki.
And this has been a great track for Sammy Smith. 4 top 10s and 5 starts at Phoenix.
Have to get a shower and head to the race. Let's get at it. Awesome, Corey. Have a good time.
There for this afternoon.
Yeah, Kim, I do. I feel like
Corey, make sure you come in the chat when you're at the race.
Things after
Here's
practice,
Sammy
we fired
Smith.
off just a little bit too free, and we're able to make some adjustments. You know, the track's going to change a lot here with cup rubber and as it gets hotter. So I think the biggest thing is just going to be keeping up with the track today. But yeah, thanks to Pilot, all my partners for being on board today, and looking forward to getting to the race.
Phoenix was the site of Sammy's first Xfinity Series win. Maybe it'll be the site of his next.
Those sunglasses.
Yeah. It's one of the few I've heard say loose as well. I mean, we've heard some guys complain about having a little bit of everything, but most of the guys have been complaining about tight. P2 in practice.
So Bobby,
gonna get a good idea where the track is.
Just got really loose coming to the green.
Not the way you want to start that lap. No. But you know, when you're good in practice, you're just so committed qualifying. You got to be committed. Driving in, see what the grip feels like. It hasn't hurt his lap time, though. I mean, look at that. He sailed it off into turns 1 and 2. Going to pay a little bit of a penalty sliding up the racetrack.
He tried to diamond it there, which you can get away with, but if you can't get the car to cut back down, you lose the rear, and that's what happened to him. He loses a 10th on the exit. Basically, diamond is entering low and then turning the car back down the racetrack. Doesn't do that in 3 and 4.
27.93 in practice. 28.026 for Alfredo here in qualifying.
P5, 28.026.
We saw it.
Yeah, we agree with you, Josh. Yeah, coming to the green for sure. Yeah, it's frustrating when you're so good in practice, but that's also the risk you take going out early in practice when the other rubber's on the track, of getting a good read on your car and what your balance is going to be.
Nick Sanchez, 12th in practice. Reference the fact that he had a great qualifying run here in his first start, 2022. That was before he was obviously running full-time in trucks, coming off an ARCA championship. Started 3rd, finished 12th, so he's got a nice little history at this place.
Yeah, that car looked pretty gripped up, I thought, in 3 and 4 coming to the green. He didn't even use all the racetrack on the exit of the corner, and if you look at the tracker, it's looking pretty good right there. Able to maintain and get a good drive off. This is going to be a great lap for Nick Sanchez.
Did a major shortcut there, but really solid through 1 and 2.
gaining on it into 3. Can he stick the landing? He's losing a little, but he's going to go to the top. Heck of an effort for Nick Sanchez.
Yeah, that'd be the fastest lap we've seen all day.
27:58 for the rookie driver from Miami, Florida.
Nice job, young man. Good job, guys. Hell of a job.
Yep, good job, guys.
They seemed more excited than Nick did, I feel like, in that.
But you just make your life so much easier when you qualify up front here. Allgaier knows
Boss
that.
gave out some cool shirts at the 500. Cool.
When he won the title here last November.
Gosh, I watched this back, and he got a little lucky right there that he didn't get crashed coming to that last green white checkered. I thought he made a great decision, though, not racing Riley Herbst into turn 3 because he was here for the big prize.
Well, and Riley's teammate was also championship eligible, right? Let him go, get the checkered flag, and I'll take
I recall
the big
Sanchez having redeem in your
That
streams.
race
Really?
kind of
Okay,
like
let's
this
see.
season so far. There was mistakes, and they still battled back from it, that sort of thing. So just classic Justin Allgaier. But yeah, getting lucky. I mean, even speeding on pit road and when they had to do the drive-through, oh my gosh.
He was the quickest in practice, but look at the tracker. Not what we would have expected. He's second, but a little bit off of our fastest guy. 27:77, a couple of tenths behind Sanchez. That really puts into perspective how great that lap was for the 48.
Yeah, and it looked to me like the 7 car was turning really well. I mean, he was splitting the line in turns 1 and 2, was able to get to the apron on the entry to 3, but just wasn't able to have the same roll.
I really need to get the redeems going.
A couple of cars left from that Group 1
38
practice session. First of those is Brennan Poole. We'll also see Carson Quapple. And I only bring that up just because of the dividing line between the track conditions and all of that and what practice actually means when you carry it over to qualifying.
And Carson's going to have a little bit of an advantage because he and Justin were both in that first session. And based on what Justin says about his balance there, they might make an adjustment to that car.
I didn't see that. That's cool, Taterhead.
Counter maybe what the 7 car felt.
I won't be able to do the game today, Taterhead, but hopefully they should win against South Carolina. South Carolina's pretty bad.
Brennan had a real interesting line into turn 1 there, went below the yellow line.
No, he did
It's
not.
a solid lap.
Yeah, just over 28 seconds, 28.012. He is 7th.
7th fastest for Brennan Poole.
Made a qualifying run here.
Here's Quapple.
The 19th. Carson Quapple.
The #1 Bass Pro Shop Chevy right there, Adam.
What actually are the redeems?
So
All right, I'll explain that next commercial.
It just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it's easy.
You can't stop yourself. I mean, old habits die hard.
I haven't heard anything, Regine.
If he can put a good qualifying run together, this is someone we'll really be discussing throughout that 200-lap race this afternoon.
Wow, is he high coming
like
to the
this.
green?
Getting a big run. First one we've seen try to do this. We'll see if it pays off.
Almost got to baby that on entry to enter that high and then get that huge exit. And it looks like it's paid off for him so far.
Still in the red.
He was committed to turn 1, but I don't know if his car was as committed as what he is.
27.94 is what he put on the board in practice.
Waffle P8s.
And he's tracking just below his teammate Allgaier, who's second right now. Not going to have anything for Sanchez. And Quapple actually loses a little in 3 and 4, pushes him down to 8th. 28.021. Halfway through the qualifying session here at Phoenix.
All right, coming up, we got Burton, Thompson, Ellis, Sieg, Daniel Dye, Josh Williams, Blaine Perkins, Nick Lights, Eric Almirola, William Swallowich, Alex Bowman, your top next 10. Someone was asking, what are the redeems? We have mini games in the chat that you can play. They're exclamation point points to find out how many points you have. Just by sitting in the chat and chatting, you're earning points as well. So, but to gamble those points, you're going to do exclamation point. I'll do it here. So this is what you got here. Hold on, let me refresh here. So exclamation point points, exclamation point points to find out how many points you have, just like that. And then exclamation point gamble those points, gamble all, just like Triton is doing right there. Gamble all exclamation point gamble all to get more points. Just like that, yeah. And then if you get points, you can bring up your favorite drivers. Like we, you most have 1 trillion points. Yeah, that's a lot of points. And then you can bring up your favorite. Like we have Alex Bowman in the chat. What's up, one wise guy? Alex Bowman. So it's Redeem Bowman. And the stream bot has a bunch of ones you can do. Names and stuff are drop. I have pretty much a lot of the NASCAR Cup driver. I don't have too many Xfinity drivers, but I'll change that. And then you can put that in there. Redeem Bowman. So it's a little something to pass the time away as you're in the chat and watching and listening and all that. So MVP California Days. What's up, bro? Where you at in this beautiful country of ours? California Days. Where you at, man? So you can bring up Alex Bowman with those points. So there you go. Just like that. So little fun times there. And there's other things you can do like heists and stuff like that. Well, Ben Willigan, I don't know, Danny.
Today. So far, so good for driver 48, Nick Sanchez.
You have points. You should have points, Bronny, since you've been in here a long time.
I mean, I would have said maybe he can be better than Allgaier, but by 2/10, that could be a threat for the pole, no doubt.
You can gamble just the points you have, or some points, like gamble 10.
Was a super impressive lap. Kind of set the benchmark.
What's up, Jake?
Last March, the pole was a 27.380. I'm not seeing the speed out of this racetrack, so I think they have a serious shot at it. Definitely
Smithley
a top
here.
5 effort there for the 48.
Another good exit off of turn 4. You see Jeff Burton getting down into the old turns 3 and 4, the new turns 1 and 2. Pretty solid lap right here.
No, Bronny got 19,000 points.
I don't know, Parker. I think as these guys, we get to some of these other cars, I think we might see that go down just a little bit.
He's given a little bit back in 3 and 4, but this is a
good
really
lap.
good
What's the
lap.
score?
Jed Burton. Not fast enough to go to the top, but a 10th off of Sanchez.
Wow, Jed Burton, P2.
68. How fast was that 48, Kim?
I don't know. Let's find out. When we talked to Nick Sanchez before the lap, he was unsure what he was going to do. Clearly, you figured it out.
He's like last.
That heater you put there. Were you surprised?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still getting adjusted to the Xfinity car's pace, right? Compared to a truck, it feels slow. But, yeah, I'm proud of my whole team. You know, everyone in the 48 Big Machine Vodka, Spike Cooler Chevrolet did a great job trying to be as fast as Xfinity Mobile. So we'll see how we stack up. Should be top 5.
All right, there you have it. He thinks he's going to stick in the top
Jim.
5. We'll see how long he can stay in P1.
I like the kind of nonchalant, like, it'd be a top 5.
Yeah.
Because in your
Dean
mind,
Thompson,
you're like, I hope
rookie.
go slower. I'm on the pole. There's a part of you that
just
hopes,
gambling.
you're like, there's a chance. There's a chance.
Gambling
How much
all.
money would you put down he stays in the top 5?
All of Jamie's money.
I'm not a gambler, Adam.
I'm not a gambler either, but if I was, I'd put a chunk down on him being in the top 5. Another rookie delivering in qualifying. Dean Thompson, 26. Third.
You have to put the
This
exclamation
is a
point in
little
there.
bit opposite of what we saw in practice. Group 1 was fast, slower pace in Group 2.
Coming
Now
up
we
next,
move into
pin
the second
message,
half of
like, dislike,
qualifying,
pin
and the
message.
time's
Yeah.
starting to really elevate.
But I think a lot of that has to do with getting to go out earlier.
Fort
in that
Morgan,
first
Colorado,
group, also the
California
different rubber that
days,
was
yes,
on the track,
sir.
and maybe misguiding those guys a little bit on the balance that they needed.
What's
on
up,
the
Matt
cars.
Steve?
And one of the things you will see throughout qualifying, and we'll
So
see
Dean
this historically
Thompson,
through the
third
years, that those
fastest,
early cars are a little bit of a disadvantage.
27.693.
All the cars that run and lay rubber down, and then those first few cars start to pick that rubber up. The track does increase in speed, increase in grip because you remove that rubber.
So Macy,
you get that
Massey.
fresh asphalt there for the tires to grip to.
Yeah, this NASCAR style of racing is different than any other form in that most racing, the more rubber that gets laid down, the more grip the track has. It's the exact opposite for these type of cars. The cleaner the track is, the more grip it has.
Mentioned the top 20 finishes this year for DGM. 1 for Josh Bilicki, 2 for Ryan Ellis, who, if you look at his stat line, and you saw the results in our bumper just a couple of seconds ago, getting better and better as the season rolls along. Got his hands full here in qualifying. Brings it back to the line in 14th. Dylan?
Austin Hill will be the last car to go out to qualify. So we heard some of your challenges in practice. Had a little bit of time to sit and think about it. How are you feeling as the last one to go out here with what you got?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely didn't fire off the best with our Bennett Chevrolet. We wasn't as fast as Xfinity Mobile, but we worked through it, you know, throughout practice. I think we had 3 ins and outs during practice, so we're trying to figure out, you know, how much the ins and outs affected our tires for each run. But our very last run, it kind of stacked up with some of the other competitors that they thought that were really good. So I got to the point where I could move around a pretty good bit down in 3 and 4. I was trying some things down in 1 and 2. So not sure how it's going to fire off for qualifying here, but I definitely think that we have a fast Bennett Chevrolet going into the race, especially with how we progressed in practice.
That was a different question. What network is on the CW app?
Qualifying goes. Qualifying's really tough here. You got to hit your marks really well. It's very easy to overstep the boundaries here, so we'll see where we end up, but I think we have a good card for the race today.
Thanks, Austin.
Well, he seems much more optimistic than he did in practice, but Ryan Sieg, he had his hands full on that lap. It locked up the left front on the entry to turn 3 on his out lap, and that just, you lose so much confidence then for the rest of the lap, knowing, you know, what is my balance going to be. So ends up 15th right now.
I would say this is a survival race for Ryan Sieg. Top 20s in the first 3 races of the year. You
just another
today,
fun thing to do.
And then you get to Las Vegas. Historically, one of his best tracks.
Danny Dimes
got his first career win there last fall.
You're welcome,
so
Baird.
If you can get through another one where you face some adversities, maybe you can hit the sweet spot next Saturday afternoon. On board, Daniel Dye, rookie from Florida.
Danny Dimes.
You know, we talk about how good the Gibbs cars and the Haas factory cars have been at this track. This has been a struggle for Colic Racing over the past few years. I've watching the race back last year with AJ Allmendinger. It just didn't seem, it's just one of those tracks that no matter what they do, they can make the balance change, but they can't find the overall speed. So hopefully they've been able to find something in the offseason that could let Christian and Daniel get a good result today.
And this really, when you look at Daniel, who's raced here in the Xfinity Series, a couple of truck starts, has not been one of his better tracks, but I'll say this, pretty good effort in qualifying, losing up
right now, Christopher, right now.
Yeah, and then going to get in the gas, picking up both ends, sorry.
It looked smooth. I would say, like, watching his hands, it didn't look like way loose, out of control, but when he talks about not being able to get to the gas, it could either be because the front wasn't grabbing quick enough, or as he tried to apply gas, it just got too loose.
And sometimes it's the smart decision to make is to be more conservative.
Josh Williams.
Get a more solid lap than trying to rush or force the car to do something it doesn't want to do, and that's when you have those big slides and they sort of just sap away all the lap time.
Look at our top 5.
What up, Brad?
Represented there. Big Machine with Sanchez.
Josh
Jed
Williams
Burton,
here.
Jordan Anderson Racing, Dean Thompson, Sam Hunt, Justin Allgaier.
Remember in Atlanta,
it
was P2.
Jones.
I'd say it's incredible to see how good of a run into turn 1 all of these guys are getting.
I don't know if
it's deceiving because of the dog leg, but when you watch the tracker, everybody seems to be up on Nick Sanchez getting to turn 1. Maybe he just didn't have a good, up to speed lap there. But he sure was good when he got down to 1 and 2, able to run that line. And see Josh Williams right there. Actually, not a bad lap.
He qualifies good.
That'll make him feel a little better. My expectations went up for him and Eckes after seeing what Daniel Dye did.
Yeah.
11 delivers. Williams 5th right now, Kim.
Yeah, and Jeb Burton still sitting solidly in the second
You have
position.
$1 or
Assess
$2.
your lap. How'd you feel about it?
I felt like overran turn 1 and 2, the old 3 and 4, as I call it, a little bit. And then I backed my corner up a little bit too much in 3 and 4 and hurt our lap a little bit. But the guys made some really good adjustments in practice. We were really, really free and just proud of them. We're getting better. Last week went horrible for us. We were very bad. So glad to get out of Coda and come back and have Monterito in the car and have some speed. So appreciate Xfinity and everything they do, and hopefully we can get some points today. I think there's been 6 stages of the year, and we've got points out of 4 of them. So we just got to keep doing that so we can try to make the playoffs.
Wood button.
It's never too early to start talking about points.
No, and Jordan Anderson, his team owner, said that to us
Xfinity Series qualifying same as Cup, or are they different from Cup to Truck? They're all different.
His teammate right here, Blaine Perkins.
They're all the same. Same concept across the board this year.
To be second still with as many cars as has run.
But how about Jordan Anderson Racing? 3 races this year, 3 top 10s by 3 different drivers. The boss man, Jordan Anderson, does it at Daytona. Jeb delivers at Atlanta. And last Saturday, we've talked about Blaine Perkins and how good he was at Circuit of the Americas.
A lot of personnel hires over there. They're building some of their own bodies in-house. They're making massive improvements, investments.
Awesome California days.
And they're seeing the fruits of those labors on the racetrack.
All right, Parker. You going to sing?
Here go Nick
I can't
Lights.
sing again. That was a one-time thing.
You know what's so bad?
We are so thankful for that.
Yeah, for everyone else's ears.
Jamie and I spent too much time together because the next line for me was, "Are you going to sing again, Parker?" And
Nick
before
Lights.
I can get it out, Jamie does. I'm not eating lunch with you today.
P19 for Nick Lights.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Yeah,
That's
sure. And if so, which way is it going? A compliment to
Nick
me
Lights,
or
P19.
you? Nick Lights in the 07.
28.197.
I feel terrible for Nick because
I know we didn't talk about his lap.
It's a beautiful car, though.
It's
a beautiful looking car.
All right, here's my pick to win it all here.
Eric Almirola, second start
Almirola,
of the year,
baby.
coming off a season when he went to victory lane 3 times. First of those in the spring at Martinsville. Paid it off for the fall on the 1.5 miles in Kansas. And then he said, you know what? I like grandfather clocks.
Why not?
I like brooms. I'm going to sweep Martinsville, win for a second time at the paperclip. Tick-tock. It was Almirola time, no question.
You saw him win in 2021?
Part-time
Nice.
effort last year. He's one of those drivers that will drive this 19 All-Star car in 2025 and was third a couple of weeks ago at Atlanta.
Average finish 8.8 in those 15 races. Unbelievable. When he showed up, you know he's a cup-level talent. He's obviously ran the Cup Series for many years, won races, and some of the races he picked, you just knew he was the one to beat before we even started practice. And he showed that just amazing the speed he brought to GOVX Racing last year.
Maybe overdrove turns 1 and 2 a little bit as you see Nick. That's so painful to have to
Intense.
watch. Just staring, praying for red on the bottom of that screen. But
Come on,
Eric had a
green. Come on,
great
green.
exit.
Oh,
Really
second,
close right
P2.
there. 27.59.
Almirola,
that's 6 thousandths
P2.
of a second behind what Sanchez put on the board.
It's only going to get tougher, Nick. I can tell you that.
Hey, I see that 19. I think of Justin Bonsignor. Congratulations
Butterfly,
to the
good to see
family.
ya.
They've had another child.
I see why
The
you're picking
delivery takes
Almirola.
place at 2:49
Swallowage
in the morning
at P18,
in the McDonald's
an
parking
18,
lot. A
an
special
18
thanks to the
Toyota.
911 operator. Go to Justin's Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, right, X, to see more details. But that was an unbelievable story. Justin going to be back in the car soon.
I can't wait to get to talk to him.
I
actually,
know.
about that.
I
That-
know.
Swallowage got
he
loose.
so loose coming to the green right there.
Oh, it's going to absolutely destroy the run here towards turn 1. You see the 10th off before he even got there.
But gosh, he brought it back nicely.
He
has.
did, and he's maintaining it now. He's going to be upset for that looseness getting to the green, but if he doesn't overdrive to the entry right here to 3 and 4, he's still going to have a heck of a lap. That car's
it did
so
again.
loose.
Loose again.
Look at it. I mean, he's still tracking it back to the line.
He's loose, but he got the pole.
To the top, 27.
Wow.
On the board. Good job there, bud.
Those Toyotas, I told you about those Toyotas
That's
here.
what you call a sloppy 56.
Yeah. He earned it.
That's right.
He's been here one time in an Xfinity car, started on the pole.
All right, so Swallowage takes it away from Nick Sanchez with a 27.56 on the pole. Nick Sanchez 27.560. Nick Sanchez a 27.586. And Eric Almirola a 27.592. Your top 3. Coming up here, I'll let you look at the race here. Bowman, Smith, Creed, Taylor Gray, Christian Eckes, Connor Zilich, Jesse Love, Sam Mayer, Austin Hill. What's going on, IR Geek? Good to see you. 2 for 2 for Swallowage up Phoenix. Yeah. So there's that. So you got 10 more drivers to go, and we'll be done, and we'll be heading over to the NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying. That starts at 1 o'clock. We'll be live for that at 1 o'clock. And then we'll do the NASCAR Xfinity Series starting at 3:30. So long afternoon with CeeLo again, whereas we are continuing our extra coverage this year in 2025 of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Cup practice and qualifying. We never did any of that last year. So can't promise I'll do every one of them because sometimes they do it on a Friday afternoon early and I'm not available for that. But we'll see how it goes. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Hit that like. We're trying to get to 200 likes. 180. We're so close. Hit that subscribe up there. We're trying to get to 30,490, maybe 500 today. 30,500 on our subs today. That would be nice, as we're trying to reach 31,000 subscribers on our account. So thank you guys so much. Not to mention Nashville weekend. Did he yeah, he was on the poll there too. Let's go Team Chevys, Richard says. Mercy, I have to say congrats to Toyota. Yes, the Toyota's pretty strong here. Ford's pretty strong here. But hey, Allgaier won here last year and won the championship. So we'll see how it does. William Swalich.
Driver so far in Phoenix, William Swalich. If your ear mold having a hiccup is your biggest problem, that's okay, right?
And I can tell you, if anybody in the field that can get those fixed, William knows who to call.
He's got some connections,
yeah,
right?
He has a connection.
Awesome California days.
Just a remarkable recovery on that lap from where he started to where he finished, and he
I'm talking about you missing the qualifying schedule for Xfinity.
Knock him off the top?
Yeah, and that I will be in Nashville. You're right.
In the form of Alex Bowman in the 17.
IR Geek.
Yes,
sir.
Back and forth,
Thank you, sir.
Turns 1 and 2, just trying to get a little bit of heat in his tires. I think it's interesting. We haven't seen more guys try to take that kind of later entry and build a big run down the
here's
front
Bowman
stretch.
the showman.
It's always so impressive. I'll tell you what, he had a really good run. Massive offer for. Look at that. He's up almost a tenth and a half. Committed to the entry. Car turned really well right on that yellow line. Look at that, 2 tenths in the bank.
Wow.
We better interview William quick.
That's right. You're on the pole.
Yes, it is,
no
Tommy.
more.
Pin message.
As long as nothing big happens
Pin message,
here,
Tommy, and Bowman the showman.
I will tell you
on the CW app, Michael.
Is bad, okay?
27-27. Good job there.
That's money in the bank and compounding interest.
Yes.
27-27. 3 tenths quicker.
I feel like it's like CPA Alexander over here to my
Is that what
left.
it is?
Yeah.
You got any stock tips?
I do not.
Okay.
I just want to trade portfolios with Jamie.
Me
That's
too.
my stock tip. Sammy Smith showed it earlier. Won here 2023 as a rookie. Second season at Junior Motorsports.
I always wanted to know, like, what was the time I needed to beat inside the car, so you kind of knew, like, how hard do I have to drive? I don't know that I want to know I needed 3 tenths on everybody else.
Well, it's good so far.
Wow, maybe the track has picked up as well, Parker. You talked about that getting clean. To see both of these guys.
And I always like that time because it tells me what the track's capable of, right? So, like, you talk about driving hard, it also gives you that indication in the green again, but it's going the other way on exit.
Your dark horse, Sammy Smith.
It wasn't always that you needed to drive harder. I wanted to know more for, like, hey, if the track's way off, don't overdrive.
Exactly.
To me, that was always the kind of rule of thumb on that.
And that's why it is tough to go early. You look at when Sanchez set that time. He didn't really have a great benchmark to know what the track was capable of. I do think it is getting faster as you remove that rubber. And when Alex went, he set the newest benchmark. He knew there was a ton of grip out.
Yeah, and he talked about trying to get adjusted from the Gen 7 car. Hopefully he figures that out by the end of the race because he's off to a pretty good start already.
You think he'll figure that out
I think
in
he's
lap traffic or
think
what?
He's got a
Because
shot.
I'm telling you, he's gonna spend some time out front, I believe, today.
Right. It's weird how good those Cup drivers are, It's like they race on Sundays or something.
I do think it's funny now as I look at the scoreboard that McMurray said I'm not a gambler and I should take his advice there and in the stock market because I said Sanchez is going to end up in the top 5 and it's
not looking so good.
Starting to become pretty questionable.
This is good though,
Look at
right
that.
here. Oh,
Sheldon
just gets a little loose
Creed.
late on exit of 2. Oh, he was in the green so well. Let's see how he goes
We
for 3 and
will
4 here.
for the race. I'll have it in there.
This is going to be
Sheldon
a huge
Creed,
improvement over where they were on the practice
2.
board. Going to have a great starting spot. Sheldon Creed to second, 27:35. So Sammy Smith went 27:41. Creed jumps in front of him. And
Yes, sir, Kevin. We'll be doing when the regular season starts.
And that is faster than that car qualified on the pole here at this race last year.
How about that?
Yeah. Really solid lap.
He's dangerous if he starts up there because of how good he runs this place.
He's amazing at this place, and he will be the first to move lines. He'll find a line in 3 and 4 that others aren't running. He'll be the second groove in that corner. He's really great at just adjusting on the fly quickly at this place.
Taylor Gray.
You see Taylor Gray right here. He was our fastest car in the second session, which would make me feel good because his car's probably adjusted the best.
IR Geek gifted 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, IR Geek. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Everybody tell IR Geek thank you.
There's a few of them up there in the top 5, and here's another one, Taylor Gray.
Yeah, it almost looked like he couldn't pull on the wheel. He had like a late entry, and it looked like he couldn't pull
Thank
the wheel
you,
to get
IR
back down to
Geek.
the bottom. You see about 2/10 off through turns 1 and 2, and that carries all the way down the backstretch.
Yeah, and when you see that, you want him just to be able to turn back down and get a big run off of 2, but it just doesn't work that way. The track falls away from you. Still a solid lap, but definitely not what he was hoping for.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's on a channel.
I'm like, turn.
I saw your hands.
Thank you, IR Geek. I appreciate it.
All 4 Gibbs cars from the top 10 in practice. Gray goes 7th, 3rd in line of the JGR Toyotas so far. Let's go back to a couple of years ago when Christian Eckes won the season finale here at Phoenix. The thing you hate about this for Eckes when he won in a truck at Phoenix, he wasn't championship eligible. They missed it. It was just so close for him being able to advance the championship before he didn't. Came here,
them
won the
Chevys
race,
coming, Roseanne
one
says.
One of his many Truck Series highlights in the last
Here's
few
Eckes.
years.
And no doubt he's thought about that. As you talk about that, that's crossed his mind quite a bit, the what-ifs. But the call-up cars have been a little better than maybe what we expected.
Well, I know they came with a completely different package, as they've done almost every
In the
time.
green,
he got
Christian
so
Eckes.
loose in turns 1 and 2.
That's not going to help.
He was in the green, too.
Yeah.
Had a real good start to the lap.
He was committed. What does Jimmy Johnson always say?
Yeah,
His commitment outweighed the grip level?
Yeah, my commitment was higher than my car's was.
Yeah, there you go.
Something like that.
Now you see it right here. Margin for error at this place is 0. If you have a hiccup, it's hard to overcome. And I say that. I mean, Sawalich had that bobble, but Eckes just couldn't overcome it. He's 16th.
Yeah, and it's very similar to Taylor Gray, like being loose in, it looked like, and he went ahead and committed to pulling on the wheel, and the car got out from underneath him right there.
And it doesn't just hurt today, it hurts your pit selection next week at Las Vegas, so there's a lot of compounding effects to
Zillage,
not having
Love,
a
and
solid
Mayer and
lap
Hill.
in
That's it.
qualifying. There's a lot of pressure on these qualifying laps, and especially this place in 1 lap.
4 to go in qualifying. And if there's someone that could jump to the top out of this group, this might be the guy that has the best opportunity.
Yeah, it looked to me like
Connor Zillage
into turn 3, trying to build
What's up,
that big
Outdoors?
run on the exit. Uses all of the racetrack on the exit of turn 4. Pretty good lap going right here. It's hard to
Yes,
judge
sir.
that.
Shane
Roman
Rich.
was so good coming to the green, as you see.
Did they take us out?
Really
I don't know.
high on the entry. I'm going to say that all these guys saw the speed that Alex Bowman ran and that Sheldon Creed was able to run, and they're just like, I got to go out and commit to this lap. Still going to be a really good lap for Connor, though. He was able to get some of that back.
He got up both exits there, got it back a little bit, puts it in the top 5. But he was
27:45.
I think, to your point, definitely, like they've seen the level of what the grip, thought the grip level is. Oh, that's a
Zillage
276.
P4.
That's faster than the pole last year. There's a ton of grip out there.
Right.
It's not all there. It's where you place the car,
27.45.
especially.
Most
All right, here's
recent winner.
Jesse
Finished 4th here
Love.
last year. Connor Zillage going to start in the top 10 today. 3 to go. Jesse Love just outside the top 10 in practice. Really good here a season ago as a rookie. A 2nd and a 6th in his first ever runs in an Xfinity car.
Showman Bowman.
Yeah, Parker, you told us to watch him. You said Jesse Love is, I think, ridiculously good at Phoenix, was the words that you used to explain. And based on that tracker, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
I'm telling you.
In the green.
He has a knack for this place. It just suits his style. It's below the yellow line. See if he can keep up the
Back
center
in the
speed
red.
and on exit. Loses a little bit, but probably just wasn't able to commit back to the throttle there once he put the left sides below the yellow line. But he is really good here, and he's really good in the race, especially restarts.
Yeah, and when we look at that and you see it's a 10th and a half off, it seems like a devastating lap, but still going to be a top 5 lap right now. So good lap.
Jesse Love, P5.
27.51, right there with his best buddy, Connor Zillage. 2 to go. First up, the Ford of Sam Mayer. And you got to keep an eye on him because his teammate Sheldon Creed,
All right,
who was
my
down
dark
there around
horse.
15th in practice, put up the 2nd best time in qualifying.
It's so important to get heat in your tires coming to the green. And
2-0
Sam,
Braves.
like,
Nice.
kind of
What's up,
slow
97
leaving that
Cobra?
dog leg. There's kind of two methods you can do. You can either leave as hard as you want, trying to generate the grip through 1 and 2. You see just really working those tires back and forth.
And that slow exit is so reminiscent.
Shout out to y'all, Pine Top Brewing Company somewhere in South Georgia.
I never liked it. I gotta get
there, Mark.
Yeah. He takes that slow approach of working the tires in, and it usually works for him. So Sam trying to emulate that.
Come on, Sam, man. I see you,
man. Actually turn down across, and look at the tracker right there, having a little bit of a hard time getting back to the gas. It looks like he maybe got a little bit loose. Still, though, not a terrible lap right here.
Teammate ran a 27:35. Creed is second on the board.
You get top 16 next month. They'll be partying until Christmas.
Back to the line, and he ends up 12th.
1 mile from Vandy. I love to see it. Yes, sir, Shane.
All the way down the backstretch, you saw the tracker just continue to lose time.
Saints, Sam Mayer, 27.756. 12 fastest for him.
He basically tried to
here's
back
Austin
it up,
Hill.
turned in, and got the car just pointed too quickly to the bottom, and that's why he lost so much time.
Is he the last one?
And he knew it too, but there's nothing you can do.
At that point, you're committed.
Pointed,
yeah.
Yeah,
Alex
last
Bowman
one here.
at the top, and only one man can knock him out of the pole position. Austin Hill, the final car to roll in qualifying, struggled a bit in practice, was outside the top 20.
Oh yeah, he generated, it looked like a pretty good run off of turn 4. Let's see if he's able to carry the momentum.
Watch the nice Shane.
Off of turn 2 right here. He slid up in the middle, not able to get pulled back down.
Get me a chicken on a stick.
His teammate. Yeah, almost their laps almost kind of like lay over each other right there.
And their cars look so similar, it's going to be confusing for everyone. It's like we're watching the same lap.
You mentioned his teammate, Jesse Love, is 5th for Austin Hill. He ends up 10th.
All right.
Outside
Bowman
of row
the
5 when we go green today. And the man that will lead us to the green flag, Alex Bowman, getting his 4th career pole. It comes here at his home racetrack, Dylan.
Yeah, impressive lap for sure. Cleared the field by looks like just over a 10th. So, was there anything left in it, or was that about as good as it had?
Honestly, I didn't feel like it was the greatest lap. I missed my entry to 1 a little bit and got myself a little bit tight. But yeah, just really happy with the HendrickCars.com Camaro so far. These Xfinity cars are really fun to drive. So thanks to Mr. Hendrick and everybody at Hendrick Motorsports for letting me drive this thing. It's been a lot of fun so far.
Track evolved quite a bit from the first laps on it this morning to now. What are you expecting it to evolve to after Cup practice and then the full race distance as well in the Xfinity car?
Yeah,
I see that too, yeah.
I would assume it'll widen out a little bit. You know, we've seen over the years, like the apron comes into play a lot in 1 and 2, and the top still comes into play even though they haven't sprayed it in a while. So, yeah, looking forward to it. I think the little bit I was in traffic in these Xfinity cars there in practice, like, they're fun. So I'm excited about it. Like I said, I think we're a little tighter than we need to be, but we'll make some adjustments and go from there.
Alex Bowman on the pole later today, Kim.
All right, and we'll listen to Sheldon Creed, who's going to be on the outside pole here.
The race this afternoon.
Race trim felt fairly okay, just a little tight and then a little free in qualifying. So, yeah, like you said, I didn't really know where that was going to put us. I felt like I put an okay lap together, but I feel like there was something better out there. So,
they cut it off. That's funny. All right, y'all. So hope you guys enjoyed today's NASCAR Xfinity's practice and qualifying. We had a good time. But Alex Bowman, Sheldon Creed on the outside. We'll go through the full rundown for the Xfinity race later on this afternoon. Coming up next is the NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying. You'll be redirected over there. If not, you want to just click on that pinned message above in your chat there. That will help you get you where you need to be. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you as we are with NASCAR practice and qualifying here for the next NASCAR Xfinity Series. So hope you had a good time. Congratulations, Bowman the Showman. Alex Bowman at his home track gets the pole today. He'll be on there with Sheldon Creed, Sammy Smith, and Connor Zilic, and then Jesse Love in the top 5. So thank you guys so much. I want to thank my lovely wife, Spain, for all the lovely wife things that she does when I'm hanging out here on the all day on the weekends, her behind the scenes doing everything. I love you. I want to thank my mods for moderating, watching over our chat, our wonderful NASCAR chat. I want to thank my members for their hard-earned money. Thank you so much, IR Geek, for the gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Trite, for being a member as well, and Mike Baker for becoming a member here today. we thank you so much. So we'll see you in just about 30 minutes or so for the NASCAR Cup practice and qualifying. We'll see you soon. So thank you guys so much. If you're watching this on replay, thanks for watching as well. Thank you for finding us and hitting that like as well and commenting on this video. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you soon. CeeLo out. Peace.